All right. Yeah, I think we should be live now. All right. Yeah, YouTube's going to lag behind a couple of seconds, but it should kick on. Should kick on there. So thanks everybody who's joining us here today. We've got another live TRT Q&A. Have Josh from Virtu's Health here with us, Mason from Live Oak Testosterone and Weight Loss. YouTube there, so we don't get this background noise. Yeah, another Q&A here. So if you guys have some questions, throw it in the chat and we'll address it. And I think kind of our topic we're going to throw around a little bit tonight, though, too, is this is supposed to be the summer of peptides. Everyone's all high on peptides and hopped up on what their results are and reporting all this stuff. And has that really happened or not? Are people really getting the results they expected, or the real results they're reporting, or is it somewhere in between, or what everyone's been seeing and what your what your experience has been? So anyway, yeah, thanks for hopping back in for another one of these, guys. How you doing?
Good. I can give my own peptide experience as as like I amped up my GLP-1 consistent use for I don't know since March, but alongside that I've counted basically every calorie, and that took Mike calling me out on it for sure to get back into it. But since then, I've been counting everything, and man, just honestly, it's relieving now that I'm in it. It's not a big deal at all, and I like having the extra data. I can see my carbs, on a low carb day, how I do from a training standpoint, and really, this is about 3.5, probably like 12 to 16 weeks that I've been in it, right at about 100 days. And so I'm going to start pulling out of it now a little bit. And this is where I will struggle the most. If I loosen the reins a little bit to not kick myself way out to where I'll just eat my face off. And that's why I use the GLP-1 to keep me in control. And so I'm going to start increasing my carbs up. I'm averaging probably 200 a day. I'm going to go up to like 250, then 300, but keep my protein 200 plus, keep my fats at like 0.3. So it's put me 50 to 70 grams of fats. And I'm going to start playing with my carbs a little bit and see if I feel a little better, if I perform better. And then I'll withdraw the amount of GLP-1 I'm on to essentially titrate to my calorie intake. I do like the GLP-1 from a pure appetite rev limiter. It just moves my hunger from maxed out all the time to manageable. I still get my 200 grams of protein, and that's how we like to do it from here. Just titrate to protein intake. But anyways, and I'm down probably 15 pounds of fat, and
Nice.
I'm probably the leanest I've been while maintaining all the muscle mass, and strength is still pretty solid as well.
Nice. So it almost sounds like you're using this medication, but the rules of good dieting still apply, and you're not ignoring that and just saying, screw it, and I'm just going to inject this med and hope for the best, and lost all your muscle and turned into a bag of skin and bones. So
Right. Yeah.
nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, right? You still have to do all this good stuff if you want a good result. So good work, man.
And that's been my peptide summer thus far.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're leaving for the beach, so that's where
nice.
that was the motivation of it, honestly.
Yeah, so
It's pure vanity.
Interesting to hear your take on what the rest of the folks at the beach look like. If you think they've been following the same set of rules you have and doing it the right way or the wrong way, or just not doing it at all and claiming they were, or saying you lost 30 pounds doesn't mean you lost 5 pounds 6 times. It's not the same thing. So because the rest of us have been had a couple of trips to the beach, and I think we've had some you're looking around, but man, I think there's going to be some jacked, ripped people walking around this summer. I don't know. I think people.
Yeah, I just got back from the beach, and it seems that I don't think anyone on that beach got the memo about peptides or Reta this summer.
Yeah. Are the jacked and ripped people in the room with us right now?
Yeah, they were. They must have been at the gym because they weren't at the beach.
Yeah, maybe they don't like the beach, Jack. They don't have time for
Could
that.
be.
They're so
Could be.
dedicated, they just don't have time for
I
any of
didn't
that.
go to the gym, so maybe I'm wrong, but just from the visuals at the beach, not so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, and it sounds a little, it might sound a little bit shallow or a little judgmental, but also, looking good and feeling good go together. And you hear all these claims out there. Everyone's claiming everyone's single digit body fat, and they had these amazing results, and they're doing it all right. And yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I didn't see it
Well,
either, man.
walking the 3 mile boardwalk at Ocean City, Maryland, I'm just like, man, you could make a killing selling hormones. Like it's
business
just
card. Business.
people just are out of breath, like sitting down, like just, and you're just like, Jesus Christ, like it's just like a slow walk.
You didn't want to have like a peptide stand because like that's the thing nowadays, right? You could just sell it like a bodega.
Yeah, like a little pop up, like you could walk around, sell ice cream, and hand out peptides.
Yeah, pop up peptides.
I thought about it. I was like, damn, I was like, I should have some of Josh's cards because I'm in Maryland.
Yeah,
I was like, I could have handed some stuff out, but wasn't prepared.
it's all
I
right.
told you about that one video I saw. I think I was complaining to y'all. I was so frustrated because it was like this couple selling peptides on like a blanket in a park, like having a picnic, but selling
Awesome.
their peptides. And they had like,
Nice.
1,200 likes and over 100 comments on the thing. And they're just like, slinging everything. And it's like, I mean, I know my stuff is less stimulating and more boring whenever I say you have to do some work alongside it. But
Yeah, you're sitting
I
there
was like,
labeling the little vials in the park, even, right? Excuse me,
Sterile
sir, come
hood.
back. I labeled that wrong. Hold on, don't inject that yet. Don't inject that
Yeah.
yet.
Oh God,
That's
the
that's
peptide
nuts.
space is definitely a bizarre space.
Yeah, it is.
I just got an email from one of my patients today. It says Retatrutide. My friend's wife sells it. It says it blows the other two away. Something like it hits all three receptors. LOL. What do you think? So interesting. So I had a nice reply back to him. I didn't want to slam. I don't know how good a friend this is of his, but I told him, yeah, it's Eli Lilly's new drug. There's trials on it. It's a real thing. But everyone wants to be on board in the space, and everyone thinks they're I have a peptide business, and it's just someone buying crap off the internet and relabeling it, or even just repackaging it and selling it. And it might be the real thing. It might be the right concentration of what it is. It might not be. It might be contaminated. It might not be. So he's like, huh, interesting. All right, good to know. Because again, he doesn't hang out on these, YouTube channels and the chat rooms. He didn't know. He's like, hey, maybe this is real stuff. What's going on? So interesting. Again, you want people to be informed consumers. So if you know what
Yeah,
you're doing and
even-
you're happy with that risk, all right, have at it, man. I'm not your mom. Do what you want. But
Right.
some people
Yeah,
don't even know.
Everything we do, we try to make it as legitimate as possible. Like even, again, I try not to push tons of supplements on stuff, but we do carry a supplement line in office because if I'm going to recommend something, I want it to be sourced well, dosed appropriately, and make sure that it has third-party testing to back up what it says it is. And even the line we carry, we had to sign a disclaimer that like, hey, I won't sell this on Amazon, because they're like, if anybody sells this on Amazon, they could just be using our bottle. We can't monitor the what's actually in it that is actually our product. And so, it's kind of the same with the peptides. Is there's just no regulatory oversight. That's the fear. Again, I use peptides myself. I like them. They're safe. We prescribe them, and we use the accredited compounding pharmacies to make sure that they go through the normal sterilization, that they're dosed appropriately, that they have third-party testing, and they have batch regulations to make sure that it's going to be dosed within a variance. I mean, even the FDA does have I think it's 10% variance, which is wild. The compounding pharmacies are typically more narrow than that. Do y'all know if that's a true statement? I've heard that a couple.
I've heard similar numbers. I don't know. Don't quote me on the actual figures there, but there is something like that. It's the same thing with like food labeling. People get all hung up on what you're really getting. Like it can be close, right? And it's the same thing with even with the drugs. Can be off by a little bit. I don't know what the exact number is though. Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, people will trust. So it sounds like, Mason, you're admitting live on the internet to being a shill for both big pharma and small pharma, right? There's compounding pharmacies that like
Yep,
small
yep.
pharma. Yeah, that's
Yep.
good, man. Congratulations. You should be
Little
proud.
pharma, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there is truly a bias. I mean, that's what I do utilize to, keep the lights on around here. I'm still waiting for my big pharma checks though. Like I use
Right.
prescription meds and I've never gotten a check from any of the big
Yeah,
pharma.
I don't know if they have my correct address or not. Maybe afterwards we'll leave our correct addresses for big pharma just so they can make sure.
Yeah,
we
who
get
do we
our-
even
get our
make that
check.
out to? Let's just submit some stuff. It's like, hey, I mean, y'all probably should give me some lunches or something somewhere, right? Or no?
Yeah,
All
so
Some
they
you-
give
pens
out
and
anymore. You can't
notepads,
even get a
at
pen.
least something.
Yeah,
You can just make the
pens,
check out to
notepads.
cash. Just tell them to
There
make
you
it out
go.
to cash and send it to you at the right address.
yeah, or we just have an envelope of cash just in your mailbox.
That'll work too.
I like that too. Or an anonymous Bitcoin.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Even better.
That's the way to do it.
Nice. I like it. I like it.
All forms accepted.
It's perfect. It's perfect. So I see.
Matt, what's the TikTok weekly struggle?
This week we're back to aromatase inhibitors.
Yeah. Thanks for
Bouncing
roping
around.
me into that one, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tagged us all on that post, and I hopped
Yep.
on. I had some free time. Like, I'm just going to do a quick video reply, and some of the comments back were awesome.
Mhm.
Right? I hopped on and said, we're really talking about, estradiol is really only an issue in the presence of either low testosterone or if you're talking like, polypharmacy, steroid abuse. Otherwise, it's not an issue. So immediately, 3 or 4 guys popped on there who are clearly doing a whole bunch of other crap and told me how I was wrong. One guy is
Yeah.
like, the only, yeah, he's like, this is incorrect. Mine was super high, and I took an AI and I crashed it, and the only way I could feel better is if I take it with along with EQ. Now I feel great. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
so prove my point on that guy. Some other guy was on propionate. He claimed that not only did it make his E2 wildly high after 5 days, he had gyno. 5 days of propionate dose, he had some gynecomastia. So
Yeah, it's common. Yeah, it's unfortunately the bro science kind of crosses over into TRT, and it's just like, look, we're talking apples and oranges. So like, you guys can stay in your lane, and that's cool. You can talk about whatever, but don't cross over and then tell everyone how to do their TRT regimen when you've been doing 750 mgs a week and tren and God knows what else, because they're two different things to even compare.
But even the comment, because I replied to it as well, the comment said, you don't want your estrogen too high because it's going to negatively affect your bones, your heart, and your lipids. And I was like, I think you have your levels backwards. If your estrogen's too low, that's all going to do it. And starting any aromatase inhibitor is an automatic block of the benefits in every one of those departments you just mentioned.
Right.
So
yeah,
and it's hard to convey that through text, and then and then of course I didn't get a response or anything, but
No, you never do. They just throw their 2 cents out there.
Yeah.
You're an idiot. This is why you're okay.
Right. I mentioned too that you'll see some of these more modern steroid coaches. They talk about it and they say guys who are on, they go back to TRT to kind of let the drugs wash out and kind of heal up, and they don't want to die, so they just give themselves a break from the toxic loaded drugs they're taking. They'll even say, I've heard them on multiple different shows, different coaches, they say you don't need to worry about estradiol at TRT doses or even TRT plus doses. The guys are taking like 300 milligrams of test a week, and they're not worried about it there. They say, if you're running these crazy high doses, they do. So even there's they're not even worried about it there. So these guys are
Right.
just really overly worried. And it's kind of interesting. The guys who are the most worried about it and really want to block it and take the AIs are kind of the most bitchy about estrogen. It's a little ironic. I think,
Yeah. So they tell you that, I guess
video,
you want it to be between 30 and 50. That's what they say. And then there's a group that says there's like a percentage, like if your
the
testosterone is,
ratios.
yeah, there's a ratio, whatever that is. So there's 2 different camps that are involved. And then there's the guys that are like, bigger guys, fat guys, that are like, well, and I'm like, well, you got to lose weight. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. You know, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's tough when you
it's
click on some of these
unfortunate.
profiles of the guys that are really all into it. You don't want to, you don't want to hammer them too hard. Like, it could be you need to lose 70 pounds. That's
Yeah, that
really
might
the
help.
main issue.
But
Yeah.
yeah, there's so yeah, that's been that took off this week. So we're back to, and clomiphene was a couple weeks ago. Now we're on to aromatase inhibitors. So I'm dying to see
It's
what
wild
next
that
week
the
is.
aromatase inhibitors is still a thing to me. Like, I mean, one of the things that I hang my hat on a lot is this study by Finkelstein, which was in 2012, 2013, and it's like, hey, check out all these benefits of estradiol. And, it's like the penis is full of estrogen receptors, the brain is full of estrogen receptors. If you block it, you're not going to get these benefits. And then two, it's just like, I view it as largely an inactive metabolite. Your body knows what to do with it. We're not putting 20-year-olds on aromatase inhibitors and their testosterone levels 900. I mean, not really 20-year-olds these days, but they didn't need aromatase inhibitors back then because your body knows what to do with it. Once it aromatizes, the serum estradiol is largely an inactive metabolite, but even then, if it did something, you just don't have to mess with it. It's kind of working its way to be excreted out. The process has already been done.
Right.
Do you know the 10-to-1 ratio? Do you know where that came from?
Mm-mm.
It was a screening tool for a study done on infertility. Has nothing to do with testosterone replacement at all. None. So somebody ran for it. Yeah, it was like, I think it was a study in the early 2000s, and it was a study looking at testosterone to estrogen ratios in relation to male fertility, and then if it was over a 10-to-1 ratio, then it was less likely they would have more aromatase activity, and then they say they might benefit from an aromatase inhibitor, but it had nothing to do with testosterone replacement. The whole study was done based off of fertility.
Interesting. Yeah. And I wonder how low T these guys were too. Like, is that really the main thing? Again, it's like in the context of low testosterone, and that's why your things are all jacked up. Huh?
So you have people out there saying, oh, you need to stay in this 10-to-1 ratio. There has never been a study that validates a 10-to-1 that's optimal for, optimal physiology for operating under TRT. None. There's no data that exists. So if anybody says that, they are full of shit.
Nice. It'd be interesting to have the lead author of the study on and ask him what he thinks about people extrapolating his data like that and using it for that.
Yeah.
He's just shaking his head the whole time with his head in his hands. Like, damn it.
This is the type of shit that we have to wade through on a daily basis, unfortunately. Like, it's the endless social media of like fake it until you make it. And if you dress the part and sound the part, you could probably get bajillion people to follow you on social media, regardless of supplying any real shred of evidence. I mean, at the end of the day, this is how cults are formed. So,
yeah,
no, it's true.
Speaking of dressing the part, I don't know if you can see my shirt has some sharks on it this is our summer special episode. But, it's basically
here I am. I did not dress for the occasion.
It's basically a children's shirt in adult size. I bought this years ago. I wanted to match my nephew. He had a shirt like it. We were going on vacation. I'm like, I'm going to get a matching shirt and blow this guy's mind.
Did you get it like J. Crew Kids?
Yeah.
I think it's
Crew
got an extra medium.
Right. Yeah. I think this is the oddest size shirt. Actually, it's like it's an extra large, slim fit short.
Medium plus.
It's an very odd shirt, but yeah.
Husky.
Anyway, right.
Remember that size?
I have a clip that I've been holding on to for when school comes back in regarding the husky. I was a kid. I had to wear husky pants, and it said it right on the label even. And yeah, kids notice that shit too.
Oh yeah,
other 10-year-olds.
Absolutely,
like, nice pants, man. Yeah. Good
whenever
stuff.
I played YMCA football, I mean, I was a little dough ball running around, and I had to wear a piece of tape on my helmet that said I was too heavy to run with the football. And
What?
yeah, like it was like once you passed a weight threshold. I mean, I was like 120 pounds in third grade, you know, and so I was a pretty big kid, and that was sort of the
You were
deal.
just, it's kind of awesome that you were a danger to others. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's it. You got to look at the positive of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's what they
then,
should have put on the helmet. Or, I mean, I don't know. Was it just like a signal, just like a piece of tape that just everyone
Just
knew
a-
what it meant?
Yep, a blue piece of duct tape that went from here to here, and if you do that, you picked up the ball, you weren't allowed to advance it.
Mm.
And then,
like
you know,
Yellow
then we went.
caution tape so everyone can see throughout the whole stadium.
Yeah, you might as well have worn like a reflective, you know, worker's
Yeah,
vest. You
safety
know?
vest.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love it. That's great. Nice, nice.
Boy, times have changed.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
aside
God.
from the guy who spammed the chat 75 times here, there's a question in there. I think it's probably when you were talking about your GLP. Someone asked, "What's your dosing on the GLP-1?"
Yeah, the highest I've ever taken on tirzepatide was 7.5. Really, it's like 6 milligrams is where feels okay. It takes the edge off enough. I can still get my protein easily. I don't really feel any other side effects on my end. And, you know, like, I know we've talked about it in the past, but I mean, like, I don't see any reason to really come off. Like, I'll start decreasing my dose, but I'll probably still do 2.5, 3 every 10 to 14 days, even for maintenance, just because it keeps my hemoglobin A1C like 4.8. My triglycerides are like 50, and you know, it keeps my cravings down, so I just don't eat the fridge door off at night, which I used to
titrate
do.
to hunger. Titrate
Yeah.
to hunger. And that's the point I was going to make for this person too. You know, your dose is your dose, but 6 for this guy, he might not be able to eat enough to, you know, be at a
Yep.
reasonable rate of weight loss. He might be losing 5 pounds a week when, you know, 2 is the max he should be losing, or who knows, or you know,
Right.
maybe the other way, maybe he needs more. So everyone's dose is their dose. You got to see what works for you. Yeah, you titrate it to meet the caloric needs you need for the diet goal, and you go from there, and then adjust it as you go too. Nothing magic about just cranking up the dose.
No, and I mean, again, they're just a good tool. I like it. You know, my daughter, we're traveling out of town every other weekend for, you know, gymnastics competitions, and trying to stay in control while traveling is horrendous. But then again, that's where tracking is nice, because then you kind of, whenever you somewhat premeditate where you are going to go eat and stuff, you know, it's like really Chick-fil-A nuggets. I was able to eat 12, and it doesn't throw as long as I don't get if you get the fries, you know, it throws the carbs and the fats up pretty quick in overall calories. But if you can stick to 12 to 15 nuggets or wherever, get your protein, doesn't throw your calories up too high, and then get like buffalo sauce or honey mustard, you know, it keeps it pretty good. And you just somewhat premeditate instead of, you know, if I wasn't just tracking alone changed my behavior independent of any of the GLP-1, because, you know, even at night, if I do start losing my grip, that's where I struggle the most, is just at night. I'm perfect throughout the day, and then at night I have all the stuff available, and it's been a stressful day. I hadn't had time, and now that's a stress eat. You know, I don't really drink or do drugs, and so food's my kind of comfort. And anyways, it kind of helps that. And just tracking, though, it's like, okay, do I want to open this? It's 300 calories whenever I'm already at 2,100.
Yeah, it's an
be
extra check. It's an extra
Yeah.
check, and you make a trade off too. Like, oh man, you know, maybe I'll just have some blueberries, or maybe
Yeah.
Yep. And you can eat a ton of blueberries and fat-free Greek yogurt, you know,
Yep.
and it gets a pretty good, you know, and just that it just exposes you that calorie awareness is how I kind of, you know, it just lets you know what you can eat a little bit more freely, and then you don't feel bad about it. It still tastes good. Frozen blueberry and frozen, you know, they're frozen, so I can't just eat handfuls of them. They slow me down, you know, and so I like frozen blueberries and Greek yogurt, and it doesn't add a ton of calories.
yeah. There's a post on Facebook a while back. Someone was talking about how now fruit, you know, you have to be careful with fruit. You'll get fat and all this other stuff, and you'll get diabetic. And there's a comedian posted. He's like, "Show me your fat friends who are eating all the fruit."
Right.
Honestly, it was a great point. Some people are really blasting back, like, "No, that's not the way it works, and it's all about insulin, and you're gonna whatever fructose and all this crap."
Right.
Yeah, eat enough blueberries to make yourself fat. I'd like to see this happen. It's
Yeah.
not you're not gonna have. You're gonna be super full, and then some sort of GI distress is gonna kick in, and you're not doing it. Fruit juice maybe you could slam some OJ or something, but yeah,
Yeah,
eat
you
it.
can drink calories.
Yeah, you're gonna eat 6
Yeah.
bags of oranges a day. Probably not. Probably not.
I think that's
crazy.
something that people underestimate is how many calories they drink.
Yeah,
They go to like Starbucks and they get these like, whatever those drinks are, or Dunkin' Donuts. And I saw a video one time on Dunkin' Donuts of this one drink, and it showed just the sugar of it. It was like half the cup.
Oh yeah.
It was like it filled up like this much of just the sugar. I'm like, God damn. But people don't realize. They think, well, they're drinking it. It's like, oh, it's not.
Yeah, I'm going for coffee. He's like, "No, you went for a milkshake. You're not. That's
Right,
not
that's-
coffee."
That's exactly it.
Like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm so tired." It's like, "Well, you didn't have any coffee, barely any coffee, and you had a shitload of calories. They were
Right.
mostly just processed
And sugar.
crap. You wonder why
It's
you
all-
feel bad. I don't know.
It's all
you know?
washed out of the body. Now you're down to zero.
Yeah, it's a great marketing. I mean, it's a line down the street for all this garbage, but not
Yeah.
not a great plan. So we have a couple other questions here. Tim, I see your question here. I ran this thing live on. I'm messing around to see how else it can go, but it's on my Facebook page too. So I see Tim has a question. See if we could put aside peptides for a few minutes. Can you discuss low ferritin while on TRT? It's the only issue I have. I don't dump blood. Provider has described the issue as being a matter of TRT eating through my iron and then taking the savings, the ferritin. I seem to manage this well by supplementing with 25 milligrams of iron bisglycinate alongside 250 milligrams of vitamin C
wow, good
every
job.
other day. I get a CBC and iron every 6 weeks, manage to get my level back in range. In any event, figured it might be a good topic to discuss.
It's a great topic.
Thanks again, boys. Keep it up. Yeah, it's interesting. I think it sounds like you have a pretty good provider there. I mean, that's a pretty good explanation and a pretty good plan. It's got you back in range. I think it's probably not something to worry about. I'm curious if you had, if you're getting symptomatic and that's why they checked, because for a lot of people, no one ever checks a ferritin and they're donating blood, or they feel like garbage for some reason. It doesn't show up in the CBC because it's kind of the subclinical, iron deficiency is not showing up as a true anemia. And then someone finally checks it and realizes. That's that sounds like a solid plan, man. Nothing to super worry about there.
Nobody's right. I added ferritin to my standard follow-ups, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, just kind of for funsies, honestly. Really what I was trying to pick up is guys were donating and not at my advice, is just, and I just was, and so I've caught like 3-4 guys.
Yeah, same.
Ferritin's like less than 10.
Yep.
And be like, hey, are you donating? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, but why? Their hematocrit's 49, and it's like, why?
My friend
why?
Steve at the gym says he's on TRT and he donates, so I figured I should.
Yep,
Right.
that's the
Why didn't
exact
you-
conversation,
why didn't you
honestly. And then it's like, okay, well, we'll never optimize your testosterone dose with your ferritin of 12, because you're gonna feel weak, exercise intolerant, dizzy with position changes, restless legs at night, and so it's like, hey, we gotta stop the leaks before we can refill the tank,
Right.
and it takes a long time to get those iron stores back up. It's not quite just and I'm glad they're on bisglycinate. That's a lot easier on the gut than ferrous sulfate, and that's just what we're taught, and it's hard on your gut. It constipates you, whereas I've been using bisglycinate as well and been pleasantly surprised. We started doing it more for females. Almost every menstruating female that we check labs on are iron deficient, so we have a ton them almost on.
Yeah, they're doing their monthly blood donation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and for and the other point I was going to make here too is when though with low iron or low ferritin, you want to make sure we're not missing a GI bleed.
Absolutely.
So we don't have another good reason for it, or it's not correcting, or some other things happening on any other. So
colon cancer.
Yeah, colon cancer. You don't want to miss something like that. So yeah, get in a colonoscopy You know, at least after age 45 at minimum, and then any other suspicions you should get it. And the every other day dosing you're doing is, I think you said every other day, is pretty good too. And it seems to work just as good as daily dosing. And taking with vitamin C is going to give you extra absorption, so that's really good. I tell people with the daily versus every other day, it's really, is if it's ruining your gut and, we need a break and you want something more gentle every other day, or what you're going to remember to do. If it's me, I might not remember every other day unless I'm putting a reminder on my phone. I can't remember day to day what I'm taking, so it can be a little bit tricky there. And then Tim says, "Oh, I was crazy fatigued. Couldn't keep my eyes open past 7." That's when he checked it. So yeah, I'm glad you got it. Glad you got it figured out.
And it's so weird to me that it's just something that people really seem to not care that much about, like in these females. I mean, I even had a pregnant female reach out the other day, not really like on hormones with us, just kind of asking questions, and was like, "Hey, what iron supplement do I need to take?" And I was like, "Well, why are you reaching out about this?" And she sent me her labs, and her ferritin was 3, and I was like, "Girl, call your OB today and go get set up for 3 iron infusions, because it's going to take you by the time you get this normalized, you're going to have a 3-month-old baby, from oral alone." And it was like, why does she have to send something to me for this to even be addressed?
Right.
Why is that not a knee jerk? Because, and then I was like, "Are you functioning okay?" And she's like, "Man, I can't even hardly change the sheets on my bed without sitting down." It's like, I mean, they're pregnant, building another life. Like, let's keep them as healthy and optimal as they can,
No, it's nuts. It's nuts. Or even just, females who are heavy, have, heavy periods. Like, I've always been a heavy bleeder. It's been, 30 years of this. And no one thinks to check it. And same thing too. I've had, people doing what we do. People just talk to us about stuff, medical stuff, right? You could be out at
That's
dinner
what
or
happened
something.
with this. Yeah.
So I've had a lot of times where ladies would be like, "Oh, I'm just feeling tired all the time," or they're talking about their legs cramping, like you mentioned, and some other thing that's a red flag. And it's now we're sitting at dinner talking about how heavy they bleed and all this other stuff. And yeah, no one ever, they opened it up. So here we go. But yeah, you end up fixing a lot of iron. They end up, again, either I order them the labs or they talk their doc into it and it's some crazy low thing. And sometimes they're pissed. Like, I felt like crap for like 10 years. Like no one thought to check this.
Jeez.
So it's important. It's important. I think it should be like a regular yearly screening, like part of your wellness exam. They catch it so much, especially now with the GLP-1s. I mean, back to some peptides. I'm catching a few people now where I think they're having some problems absorbing micronutrients. So I'm seeing some low ferritin and some low B12, low vitamin D even. And the only thing that's really changed is the GLP, and it makes sense, right? I mean, we're slowing down. You say chronic PPI use, yeah, that could be it too. Yeah, so it's interesting. It's worth checking. Tim says he went 6 months ago, had a ferritin of 14, just over 50. Now in the range between 60 and 70, and feel fine. Yeah, usually, I think, below 30 is kind of the cutoff for a true iron deficiency anemia, but a lot of people don't feel better till you get them over 50. So glad you got back there, man.
So one major thing that can kind of fly under the radar with low iron, what is it?
I mean, cancer GI bleeds are my top differential.
Not cause of, direct result of low iron.
Restless leg is one that...
one that we check and treat.
I don't know. What do you got?
You talking about some... Oh, yeah. Yep. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Dang.
Yeah, for sure.
Come on, man. I teed that one up good.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah. No doubt.
Okay. So you need iron as a cofactor for TPO, and you need it for conversion of T4 to T3. T3 being your active thyroid hormone. And this is your metabolism at its core, right? So having an optimal T3, if you're struggling to lose weight and your T3 is garbage, that could be another thing to take into consideration to get that from deficient to at least functioning or optimal. But if your iron is low, specifically very low, because if your ferritin gets like below 15, you do have iron stores in your organs, and you will deplete all of those iron stores out of your organs as sort of a backup. And then you're really going to be running on empty at that point in time. And your body's really going to be struggling to put 1 and 2 together to make things work right. So it's really a multi-system problem, even though it's really just stemming from one thing.
Yeah,
So-
no, it's a big deal
Crazy.
for sure. Yeah, if you're looking at thyroid, looking at iron is super important. It's a good point.
This is one of the reasons why we see lower thyroid hormones in women as compared to men, because most men typically do not have issues with their ferritin, but obviously women having that time of the month often become anemic, and therefore they do have issues with thyroid more often. And that's just one example of, I'm not saying it's the sole cause of, but it's another cog in the wheel, if you will, of looking at those things. So keep that in mind.
Excellent point.
Damn.
Nice. Yeah. See, I mean, females in their hair too. It's a big one. They'll come in. They have complaints about their hair being off and something weird. And again, you get that combo of thyroid and ferritin being off. It's like a 1-2 punch. Really jacks up their hair. That makes them pretty unhappy. So you fix that. You fix that for a lady, and she's pretty pleased.
Is that where their hair gets thin, or thins their hair out? Is
Loses
that
some hair. Yeah, it's fragile too. It's breaking off. All that stuff.
There's other things for thyroid too, and I think that's probably for another time frame to discuss that. But because you need like iodine, selenium, zinc, there's a couple different things that you'll need to add on to help build those hormones. So
Yeah, it's important. And probably something else to be, again, something to be wary of too. If people are hitting the GLPs too hard and starving themselves,
Yep.
probably, and it's more, the less calorie dense your diet is, the more careful you have to be about micronutrients. You'll probably get a little deficient there too. So
right?
yeah, and
Gotta
your
make sure you're
thyroid
paying
down
attention.
regulates in the absence of calories as well.
Yep.
So, and that's one thing that's my biggest gripe about GLPs. They certainly serve a purpose, but you can eat to lose weight too, which we try to promote. But and some people need a different strategy. I think everybody has their own way of going about it. But we really try to focus on eat the calories, use the calories, and go. And I think people like that more because it allows them to just mostly eat. Like I eat 3,000 calories a day. Some days it's hard to eat that amount of calories a day because it's kind of a lot. And trying to make sure that they're not off the rails completely. I'm not
It's
stuffing
easy
my face full of-
easy and hard at the same time.
Exactly. Like I could
Right.
easily crush 3,000 if I was eating cake and hamburgers.
exactly.
You
Yeah, if you're
know.
trying to eat it mostly good food,
Right.
it gets a little tricky.
It
It gets
does.
it gets a little tricky.
Tough to keep those macros in check.
Yeah.
with good things. But
I have a guy-
I had ice cream last night. Who cares?
Oh yeah, every once in a while. So it's not
Sure.
not every night. You're
Not every
probably
night,
okay.
but
Yeah.
a couple times.
I have a guy I checked in with one of my guys. He's fighting some fires at 11,000 plus feet and working hard. I just checked in and see how he's doing. He's like, I'm good. I'm up here. So I was like, man, you must be ripping through some calories too. We're out there, and he said, yeah. He said they're required to give us 5,000 calories a day to make sure we're well fed.
Damn.
And he's like, I got to tell you, I could probably eat some more. He said, I'm
Wow.
ripping through that. No
Damn, at
problem. No problem with my
5,000 calories?
5,000. So I said, man, it almost sounds fun, right? You're out there doing some badass shit and crushing
Yeah.
a lot of food. It's probably, it's got to be exhausting though, too. But
Oh yeah, and
That's
a lot of
dangerous.
food.
Very dangerous.
Yeah, but if you get behind, you're gonna go down.
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah, it's
you'll be in
dangerous.
the
Yeah, yeah.
hospital. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you need to stay well fueled. Yeah, because the stress of all that too, all of it. You got to recover when you can, and so amazing. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Got to be tough too at 11,000 feet. That's
yeah.
like a hell of a workout.
Yeah, that was the other thing we
Yeah.
said too. So he has an H&H that runs on the high side. So I said, you're welcome. There you go. Right? It's probably helping you a little bit. You're
That's
trained.
right.
You're trained for this.
Are you seeing the comments on YouTube? Are they coming through?
And I have to pull up YouTube. I'm not getting.
Yeah,
them
there are
on
some.
Riverside.
There are some in here. I see a few. Let's see. We see Sir Greystone. says Retatrutide, I work out 3 days per week, taking HRT pellets as well. I've lost over 50 pounds and feel better than I have in a long time. Then he says 50 mLs once per week is my dosage.
So
So
it's not a true dose, but
yeah, you want to go
Yeah.
continue, Mason?
yeah, that's one of the problems with the peptides. And I'm glad it's working for you. You're down 50 pounds. It's amazing. I'm not discrediting
Yeah,
that
that's
at all.
awesome.
You're
That is
killing
awesome.
it. But one of the problems that I'm experiencing as a clinician is people are coming into me saying, "Hey, I'm taking 50 mLs." One, it's not 50 mLs. I'm assuming he's meaning 0.5 mLs, so 50 units or so. But that's not a dosage. I need to know the milligrams of the medication, and I always have them take a picture of their vial for the concentration, and then how much are you drawing up, so I can realistically see how much they're dosing. But that then comes to, if this is gray market, sometimes their vial does not have a concentration on it. It's just, I put some backwater in there, and now I'm
Yeah,
drawing up
you
50
reconstituted
units.
it yourself, right? And you ask, well, how much
Yeah.
water did you put in there? I don't remember. Like, well, crap. Then we have no idea
Yes.
how much.
Right.
So we don't know what the dose is and everything. It could
Right.
be, you could be on 1 milligram, you could be on 15 milligrams, and on 15 of Reta is higher than anything they've studied and is a massive dose. But just kind of saying that's one of the difficulties of people bringing this stuff in and then wanting us to manage it.
Didn't someone just overdose on retatrutide?
I've heard a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, someone took like 20 some unit or whatever it is, MIGs or something at one shot, and
Sounds
and
miserable.
they died.
Really?
Oh wow, died.
I've had to send a couple people to the ER for their high doses. One of them was some tirzepatide that their primary care doctor prescribed, and said, "Hey, your A1C is 12, so we know you're going to need a higher dose. We better start you right at 7.5 milligrams."
I've seen that too.
Oh man, very, very upsetting, because you're taking the advice of someone you trust, and they landed you
Yeah.
in the hospital because it was just completely stupid. Terrible idea.
Back to your point, Mike, on your dose is your dose. These GLP-1s are very individual, because I can't look at somebody and predict what their dose will be, because I've had people like on tirzepatide, 2 milligrams is below the starting dose. I've had people lose 40 pounds without even trying on 2 milligrams a week.
Yeah, they're cheap
Big
bait.
guys. Yeah. And then I've also had people who have 12.5 milligrams, and they're mad at me because it's not working for them. So it's just, again, your dose is your dose. You take what you need from it, because everybody just responds differently with it.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Matt, to echo on your potential death, the British Medical Journal did publish something as of like 4 days ago, and it says retatrutide fact check: a man has died after taking the unapproved weight loss jab. And it says, however, the situation may be less clear cut than the article suggests. The reports were based on a data recorded on the UK drug regulator's adverse events reporting system, the yellow card scheme. So far, 77 cases involving that drug have been reported to the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency. As it's not available to prescribe in the UK, all cases would theoretically involve patients who have purchased the drug from the black market or been involved in clinical trials. Of the 77 cases, 59 were reports of serious harm, and one concerned the death of a man in his 30s. The only details available of that death were reported by a healthcare professional in 2025. And that's all it really says. So
Yeah, and it's interesting too, because we get back to, it could be exactly what you think it is, but now you're getting advice on dosing from the lady selling it in the park,
Right.
who doesn't know what the hell she's
Bodega.
talking about, right? Or I've seen some stuff on social media too. Someone's on there talking about how to get your dosing right, and they're talking about milliliters versus milligrams, and they're reconstituting it wrong, and their math is all wrong. And this is out there, so someone goes on, the internet. Oh, I'm going to double check this. I'm going to get online. Boom, this is the thing that pops up, and they're taking the wrong freaking dose. So
Yeah.
you don't even know what you're taking, or you got advice from
not
some ass
innocuous,
doesn't
that's
know
for sure.
doesn't know
Yeah, it
math.
doesn't
I did a live yesterday on TikTok, and somebody was like, I take 50 mLs of testosterone a week. I was like, what? And he was like, why, is that high? I'm like, that's a bit excessive. And somebody, like, all the comments out, people are like, it can't be, like, you can't be taking 50 ml.
Five full standard 10 ml vials.
I'm like, holy shit. And then then he comes back, he's like, oh, no, my bad, it's 0.5. I'm like, yeah, no, that makes more sense.
Rich Piana over here. I'm sure he was doing like a vial.
Yeah, right. Depends who you're talking to.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's crazy.
Sir Greystone does say it's from Stryker Pharmacy, so that's good.
Okay.
That's going to be much better monitored, and not the case that we're talking that I see pretty frequently.
Yeah. So 50 mLs of that, because what's the concentration of the? I mean, it's not going to be. It's still not 50 mls. Even 50.
So he's only on 1 milligram, which is
so that's basically a probably pretty dang close to actual microdosing. So that's not a big dose, and that's how you use it. Like.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's great. Yeah, again, you're a cheap date. That's awesome.
Yeah,
using something effective, and you actually have real stuff. So I mean,
Right.
you're winning. You're winning this episode, man. That's awesome. Good work.
Yeah.
Pretty darn good. Someone asked, what app are you using to track? There's a lot of triggering things in this episode so far. But what app are you using to track, Mason?
Macro Factor again. Mike called me out and told me.
Macro Factor.
Yeah. So I recommended this thing.
Yeah.
I recommended this thing. I recommended it to all my patients. I talk about it. I sent in a thing. They said, hey, we'll give you, if you refer people, we could be on our page, and we even give you some, a little kickback for the thing. Not that I need or want that, but it's like, oh yeah, I do this all the time. I could put a link on my page, an official thing or something. And they denied me, told me I don't have enough followers. So,
Damn.
Oh, no way.
so Macro Factor is awesome, but also F you guys.
Right.
What a bunch of jerks.
It can be both ways.
How do you say, oh, you don't have enough followers? Like,
it was a canned response. I don't think it was like a personal jab.
yeah, but still, what you have, the Indian bot farms that follow you. Like I would much rather have people that want to follow us for what we do than have
Right.
8,000 people that are just not even real or don't care.
There's not too many products I'd want to be affiliated with, but if you have something that's really good, you use all the time. I've been using the thing for for years. I've
if
recommended
anything,
it
do you
to
think they
a
would
lot
be
of
reaching
people.
out to people like us that are trying to do the right thing in this space? And the problem is what we talk about doesn't align with people's viewpoints, right?
Right.
And that's the issue, right? They're not getting that confirmation bias from us because we're not telling them to do the things that they want to do. We're kind of giving advice that goes against what maybe somebody else told them, even though it's right. And they're like, well, fuck that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's not telling
That's
me what I
true.
want to hear.
Right. That is true.
And some of the guys who made that product, they have some podcasts they do too. So if they want to have me on as a guest to do a public apology, I'll consider letting them sponsor me. See if we can. We'll try it from that angle. But yeah, it's a pretty good one. I like it. I think it's like $70 a year or something like that. But it's pretty good at figuring stuff out. You get some good, you get some data plugged in there. After a while, it really figures out what your maintenance calories are for you. Does the work, and you can plan down to. When I do it, I can be within a pound of what my goal is. So if I know I'm going on vacation in 3 months, 4 months, I set it for what I want to do, and I'm within a pound of my goal. If you follow,
Do they have a social media page?
I'm sure they do. Oh, no, they do. They have a Facebook group for sure.
I would go and be like, I'd leave a comment here, but it doesn't look like you have enough followers for me to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of telling everyone to spam them. Then we'll just put in there for Mike Belkin.
There you go. Yeah.
And we're just going to keep spamming you until you hire Mike.
Right. Yeah. No, it's a good one. I like it. I recommended it twice today already, not including this. So yeah.
I've recommended it too.
The thing I like the most about it is the AI picture stuff, which I know isn't going to be 100%, but it's nice to just have somewhat of an estimate and not have to go find all the ingredients. If I'm at somebody's house and they pull out a casserole, you know, I'm not having to like go find their boxes and
Go
look
through
at
their
everything.
trash.
Yeah. which
What are
I've
you
done in
doing?
the past, not at somebody else's house, but my wife has cooked something and I'll be like, hey, what is this? And she's like, I don't know. It's in, and they're like, oh, let me go dig it out and everything.
Right.
But now I
My-
just take a picture and
My wife is
Next
so
day
used
they
to
go
my
outside. They're like,
shenanigans.
we must have had raccoons. And they're like, no, Mason was here, going through the trash,
trying to check his macros.
trying to
again.
check his macros while he was over for dinner.
Yeah.
You like George Costanza on Seinfeld when he gets caught eating the donut out of the garbage or whatever it was. Right. My wife is so used to my shenanigans with this macro tracking crap that sometimes she'll throw something away and be like, oh, she's like, did you already scan this thing? Did you already see this thing? And I'll play it. I'm like, no, it's okay. It doesn't matter. She's like, no, I get it. She's pulling the thing out of the garbage. Poor.
It's all right. 5-second rule.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
good. It's all fine. That's funny. Yeah, it's a good one. But the that AI part of it too, yeah, it'll let you describe it in there. So if you take a picture and describe it, it does a really good job. And again,
think
you're
that's
back
pretty
to
close.
yeah, a lot of food. It's kind of that blows people's mind too. That it's a little bit of a guesstimate anyway, right? The food
Yeah.
can be off. The labels can be off by X amount anyway. So a guess is better than nothing, and it works pretty
Yeah.
good. So yeah, so you can eat out and do whatever you want and still have at least a decent idea. So yeah, give it a shot. See what you think.
What's it called again, Mike?
Macro factor. MACRO.
It's actually
Yeah,
a
the guys who
spectacular name.
make it, the guys who make it are pretty cool too. They're all exercise, science, and nutrition nerds. So they're pretty into it. They take it pretty serious. So it's a good one. Let's see what else we got
Science-backed
here.
diet coach and macro tracker app that empowers you to reach your goals. Man, I like it.
It's pretty
have to
good. They
reach
came
out
out
to
with a
them and be
training app too. I don't know. The training app doesn't look. It looks a little constrained to me. I haven't tried it, but
I'm like,
see.
oh, I was recommended to you by Mike Belkin. I'd be like,
That's
I was
right,
going to
yeah.
use it, but he said that you shot him down because you didn't have enough followers, so I'm going to have to go
That's
with.
right. With the
Some-
I think
competitive-
I legitimately
app.
put in Mike Belkin whenever I started it as well.
Did-
So if you,
Nice.
maybe
Does it
it'll
say
flag
where?
there.
Does it say where because a lot of places will have that. Like,
Yeah, I
where
think
did you
it
hear of
does.
us?
Yeah, because I think whenever I was signing up, it did it, and I think I put them in there. So maybe it'll flag if you do it, it'll flag their AI to be like, oh,
Nice.
Oh yeah, I'm signing. I'm going to sign up and put Mike Belkin. I'm going to have everyone I know sign up and put Mike Belkin. On.
yeah.
We'll see. You'll know if I'm sitting here wearing a Macrofactor T-shirt.
It's like-
No
say-
sleeves.
we're live at
sleeves
the
are
Micro
gone.
Factor Studios today. It's like-
Yeah.
That's funny. I like it. I
Oh,
like
that's
it.
fantastic.
What do we have here? Dan says, how do you guys feel about running HGH in the morning and CJC IPA? So are we talking about actual, I mean, if you say HGH, I think we're talking about actual human growth hormone. I don't think, unless you're like a high level, unless you're a high level bodybuilder, running HGH in the morning is unnecessary and probably not great for your health, right? That the idea of, having it at nighttime matches more of a natural pulse of when your HGH is going to be high anyway. It's going to be mostly away from food. So, CJC and IPA, you want to take away from food anyway, because you don't want it competing with, with insulin. You're just going to blunt the response, because that's a secretagogue and it's stimulating your body to put out some growth hormone. HGH itself, if you're plugging it in there, it's in there. So if you take it around food, it doesn't really matter. But you don't want to have a lot of food on board while HGH is floating around, because that's how you get insulin resistance, you get a jacked up hemoglobin A1C, and all the bad crap that comes along with that. So for the extra fat burning you're going to get from HGH in the morning, it's just not worth it, right? You plug it in at nighttime. And now we're also back to, where's this coming from and who's prescribing it, and, be careful, please, right? It's not a recommendation. Most people aren't getting that legitimately. But if you were to use it, the safe way to do it is at nighttime. And the difference in the results you're going to get is not that great. Not that great.
No, I mean, the average, unit secretion from a secretagogue is about the same as what you're going to dose yourself with GH anyway. So it's sort of like, what's the point? GH is incredibly expensive. And if you're taking 2 to 3 IUs a night anyway, CJC and ipamorelin basically gives you the same results, and it's way more cost effective. So,
Yeah.
plus you stay inside the loop and not outside the loop, so you don't have to worry as much about because you still preserve your somatostatin backstop. So I'm a fan of the secretagogues. Currently on one, and you know, I try to run one of those probably about twice a year, and I'm a big fan. Now there is a place and time for GH, but I think that's a very specific, nuanced answer given to that person's medical history and overall goals. So.
Yeah, currently a felony for it to be prescribed for most people in most circumstances, which is
Correct.
a little ridiculous, but that we are where we are. Yeah, I mean HGH. I'm gonna get. Yeah, I think you're gonna get secretagogues. It sounds like you could probably get around that replacement dose kind of kind of response. You're not gonna get it's not gonna be like taking 18 units or in bro talk, or which would be 6 milligrams in medical talk of real GH. And there are studies where they actually did that, where there are studies with 18 units of serostim that they're using, right? So you talk about what kind of doses can people tolerate? There we go. I mean, is that
feel
for
their
everyone?
arms?
Yeah, that's
Right,
what I was
right,
like.
Were their
just the
ulnar nerves
neuropathy.
completely paralyzed?
And there were some subsequent studies on that too. So they did some, cut it back and did every other day dosing. So the IGF-1 would stay elevated. So you're not getting the GH from it, but your IGF-1 stays elevated for, I don't know what it is, 2.5 days or something like that.
Yeah.
So you get a pretty equal IGF-1 bump. And then you can, it wasn't, the every other day worked better than taking the same amount and just cutting the dose in half, basically. Right. So people got like, instead of taking 18, you took nine units or 3 milligrams. The people who did it like that every day didn't get as big a relief of those symptoms as if they just did it every other day. So there are ways to do it. Again, these are absurd things that very few people are going to be taking. Very narrow indication and not recommended. The CJC IPA and the other secretagogues is tricky because you want to manage it around eating and bedtime. So if you're someone who whatever, you work a late shift and you come home and you usually eat within a few hours of bedtime, you have to work around that. But you can juggle that. It's not that big a deal.
How about that video I sent you guys the other night about the Tesamorelin and the CJC, and the guy was arguing that they're different.
Oh yeah, one of his arguments was one is causes visceral fat burning, and the other ones doesn't. It's proven and researched, and because that's the way studies work, right? And we've talked about this before. You've mentioned it a bunch of times for sure, Josh.
This is how we know that this is a surefire way how nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, right.
I read the
meds.
abstract.
Right. Yeah, different meds in the same class are super likely to have overlapping effects.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
But you research it for different indications. I mean, even look at the GLP-1 meds, right?
Yeah.
Same exact medication, not approved for weight loss until they realized it causes a shitload of weight loss. Like, we better get this approved for weight loss. All of a sudden, boom, we had to rename it because of however the hell all that crap
Insurance
works.
coverage is
And
really
insurance
what that
coverage.
was for. Insurance
Right.
coverage.
Yeah. No, for sure. So there's overlapping effects for sure. And as he did have a point that they can hit a little bit different too. I think the sleep effects are going to be different. Like your CJC and ipamorelin is going to help you probably a little more on the sleep side than tesamorelin for most people. But there's some overlapping effects there too. So
Well, I don't think people realize that the peptide itself isn't exerting its effects on those results. The peptide is releasing growth hormone. That's all it's doing. That's it. Growth hormone's doing the work. So when we're looking at the result of that study, we're looking at the result of what growth hormone has done. In the case of tesamorelin, the FDA indication for why they were getting that approved was for visceral fat reduction. That was it. That's all they looked at. That was like, hey, it did it. It did what it's supposed to do. Pack your bags, kids. We've shown that it works. It got FDA approved for that. We're out the door. CJC and the phase 1 and 2, they said, we don't care about body composition. We're just looking at pure IGF-1. Guess what? Still releases growth hormone. Growth hormone doesn't discriminate against any fat. It's growth hormone-mediated lipolysis. Could there have been a visceral fat reduction? Sure. Is there? 100%. I can prove it. I have hundreds of body scans in my office that'll show you visceral fat reduction from CJC. So if you want to study, I can easily throw up that data for you. But they didn't look at it in the study. The only thing they looked at was IGF-1. So does that mean taking CJC doesn't cause body composition, like changes? No, it just means all we looked at was one thing,
Right.
and we got the one thing we looked at. That's it. So it drives me nuts when people do that and they read the study and like, if you want to lose visceral fat, you take tesamorelin. If you want to just lose general fat, you take CJC. They both do the same fucking thing. At the end of the day, same thing. Case closed.
Yep.
And that's that with that. No, that's well,
Put
well
Put
said.
it to bed.
Yeah.
Well
That
said.
contradicts what ChatGPT says. So, Josh, you're wrong. You know,
Probably.
Oh,
That's
oh,
right.
yeah, I didn't know we were going to go up against AI.
Yeah.
It's a tough battle. Oh, it's fun to argue with ChatGPT and tell it it's being stupid. You can get really. You're not going to
It
hurt its
lies a
feelings. You
lot,
can really-
actually. It's a sneaky bastard.
Sometimes
It's
I'll ask
so-
her, say, "Why are you making shit up?
Yeah.
Why are you making shit up? This is the opposite of helpful. You're supposed to be a supercomputer. What the hell's your problem?"
It's so.
Sometimes
and
my
it's
wife
like-
will hear me talking to her. She's like, "You talking to the computer like that? Is that okay? When it turns on us, is it going to be extra mad at you?" It's like, "No, I think we're okay." Because I usually apologize after. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You don't want to
Just in
hurt his
case.
feelings.
Just in case. Yeah, I don't want it to flip out on me one day.
Well, I mean, it's just gathering information quickly that's on the internet. So if the information isn't correct, it's just gathering incorrect information quickly.
Yep.
And
Yeah, and you'll
spitting
see,
it back to you.
like sometimes it tells you the websites that it's searching real quick, and it's like, well, I don't want that one. I don't want that one. Like,
Yeah.
give me some
Right.
better websites that you're extrapolating from. Because even if you do it on different days, you'll get different stuff at times. And yeah, and
Oh, yeah.
I like calling it out too, and it'll be like, yeah, good call calling me out on that. And it's like, you're the smartest thing that humanity has
Right.
ever created.
Right.
And
Like,
Yeah,
why
now I
was-
had to question everything you say, and I guess we should be. So it's a nice check. It's a nice check for sure. Dan adds in here. He says at night while on TRT. So he said HGH in the morning, CGIPA at night while on TRT. Yeah, I think. I think taking growth hormone secretagogue not on TRT is probably a waste of your time. So I like the idea that you're pairing the two together. I think people waste their money if you're not optimizing your testosterone, optimizing your growth hormone. It's probably, not the bigger rock here. Get the testosterone straight, but yeah, I don't think I would take regular, real HGH in the morning and CGH, CJC IPA in the evening. I think I'd pick one method for your growth hormone, run it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you're switching things out, but again, be careful with the HGH, man. I don't know where it's coming
Maybe
from.
they're taking Kispeptin to boost their testosterone.
Man,
Ganadorelin.
Yep.
yeah.
those are going to be back next week now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be all over.
Yeah.
your-
Do they
over
reach
your-
out to you, Matt, ever about those?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Oh,
Like,
really?
why would you take TRT when you can take Kispeptin? I'm like, well.
I like it was something that I got a lot of inquiries on like 3 years ago, and then really it fizzled out. I haven't had anybody reach out in a long time on it, so I just thought it fizzled out with everybody else. But it's crazy
No,
that
it's
it's still
Yeah, it's still a
floating
thing.
around.
And then you'll get the enclomiphene bros every once in a while. You don't need TRT. You can just take them. Like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, they get real upset too.
Oh, they get very agitated.
What do we have here?
My microphone low. It should not
Let's see.
be low.
Lockout, double X, total T 450, free T 55, picograms per milliliter. Doing it all right. Food, gym, sleep, supplements down to 18% body fat from high 20s. Free seems to be getting lower. All the low T symptoms. Would 150 per week be okay?
The-
I'd
I don't
still
know,
probably
you're-
work with a provider, but I mean the levels definitely dictate. I mean a free T3 at 5.5 nanograms, not picograms, but
Right. Yeah. If we normalize that for nanograms, yeah, 5.5 is pretty low.
definitely warrants testosterone. However, again, your dose is your dose. Work with the provider to dial it in.
Yep.
If you're not, and you probably are if you're getting labs and stuff, but 150 could be reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're asking if that dose that your provider is prescribing for you is a reasonable starting point, it is. right? Don't
Yeah.
don't just try to, and especially now too. Not that you should be doing this any other time, but I'm hearing some reports. I've had a few guys come to me who were doing a do it yourself method for a little while, and then supplies dry up or they go sideways, and there seems to be some bad underground lab stuff out there that's weak and underdosed. So all of a sudden, guys are feeling like crap. They check their levels, like, man, I've been doing the same thing, and so things change, right? I mean, you could trust your drug dealer until you can't anymore, and maybe they're they're not bad guys either. They're source. They don't know,
Right.
how far up the line does this change happen. So you gotta be careful what you're doing. But yeah, 150 per week. I wouldn't take it all as one shot, right? You want a divided dose. Most guys, I mean, if you're going to take a guess at a stab in the dark, you put most guys on 150 milligrams per week, divided into 3 doses. You're going to be right pretty damn often. So it's not
I mean, it's a pretty solid protocol for the vast majority of guys. Not every guy.
Right.
Nothing in medicine is absolute, but it's a pretty good protocol.
How's the microphone now? Is it coming through any different?
Good.
I've been hearing you pretty good.
It sounds good. Yeah, it didn't sound. It didn't
a lot of
sound
people
better.
are saying it's low. I don't know what the issue is. I haven't really messed with my settings. I just turned it up a little bit in the thing, so I'm not sure what will happen here, but we'll see what happens.
You think they're just screwing with you as a recurring theme? So I think the first time
They could very well be. I don't know.
It's probably my internet provider hacked his stuff. They don't want to hear him talking about it anymore.
I'll move it to I'll move it more in front of me here. Maybe that, because it might be on like direct, maybe on how it's pulling in the volume. I don't know.
Some of that underground test is so weird. I've seen them bring in, it'd be like mixed with Deca and testosterone, then 400 milligrams per ml of testosterone. Sometimes it's Sustanon, but sometimes there's 4 other esters in there. So it's like they just try to, church it up too much. It's like, just stick with testosterone and figure this out. Get a good.
try to make it something fancy.
Yeah, cypionate. They're trying to, spice it all up, but it's like, just stick with normal testosterone and figure out a dose that works for you. Learn how to train. Here, this would be a good time. I was complaining to y'all about a patient of mine, and I mean, there's no identifiers or anything, but this is just this is a scenario that I've lived through multiple times now. But I had a patient who is coming to me for his testosterone, but managing it by himself on the other side. And I don't know why. I mean, I follow up with him every 3 months and he does good. But this last time I was like noticing his HDL was trending down, his SHBG was trending down, and there was an estradiol level checked and it was less than 5. And I don't really fight him. Like, I don't have it on my standard follow-up, but if somebody asks, like, hey, I just want to check and see what it is, I'm not going to fight him on it. I'll get it. So he must ask the staff to add it on. So it was less than 5, and I was like, man, what are you doing here? Something's off, just because. And he's like, well, I've been actually even checking my labs every month, and I got a test kit at home, and it showed my estradiol level my estrogen level was 160, and then it was something else and something else. I can't remember all this stuff, but it was one of those things that you just like clip on, and it's like a capillary blood thing.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of these around.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, there's a couple things with this. One, an estrogen level is meaningless. Like, that's not going to tell you anything. And 2, the capillary stuff is also wildly inaccurate. I've seen stuff all over the place with those. I've had guys bring me a lab and it said 900 and they did it like the weekend before they got labs with me on Monday, and then their testosterone level was like 280 serum comparatively. Well, and then so I was like, so then what? You got a estrogen blocker? And he's like, yeah, I sourced it from one of the guys in the gym. And then he was taking this massive dose and he rechecked it and it was less than 5. Even on the little thing that he had, it was like undetectable. And he felt awful. And then,
I bet.
and then he was like, oh, so then instead of taking 3 full pills a week, I just went to a half pill once a week. And then it still was at less than 5 with me. And I was like, okay, one, you pay me to help you, utilize
Right.
me. It's like
Yeah.
I'm super available. You can always text us and we respond within hours a lot of time, and anyways, so it's like, but what I'm bringing this up is because I've been through this multiple times where guys will try and do this themselves and they just make it so complicated and they add all this extra stuff and things just get worse and worse and worse, and then they come and then now we got to fix it. And now he's been on this massive aromatase inhibitor dose, and so it's going to take months for things
Yeah.
to settle down, and he's going to feel worse for a bit coming off of it, and so and he was trying so many different things, so many variables. I said, stop everything, take this testosterone dose and don't do anything for 3 months. And I was like, still train, still work on your eating. And he's new to training and eating, and he's trying to just get 10 years worth of results in
Right.
3 months. And it's like, man, continue to learn to train, continue to learn to eat, sit in it, take this dose of testosterone and don't change anything. Because he's changing it I felt like every 2 to 3 weeks he had all these dosing changes. And I was like, I'm not trying to be your dad here, but you're already paying me to help you. Let me help you. And we got to sit in this now. And so anyways, that's one of the things with the estradiol blocking and treatment that I've run into now multiple times. That's not the first time that's happened. But.
Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, I saw a post on one of the forums too. There was a guy getting testosterone cypionate prescribed from his provider. He didn't open like this. He said, "Hey, I'm taking propionate daily, and here's what's going on. It's not working great." So he's getting hammered for, "Hey, where are you getting this from?" It's a picture of this stuff that's just clearly, not good stuff. And then he's getting hammered about it. He's like, "Well, I have a prescription for the other stuff, but they told me to take it once a week, and the guys at the gym told me that's not a way to do it, and I should buy this stuff." So he's got the real stuff at home. Just has a terrible plan laid out for him. He's taking some underground crap. I think, dude, this is just what a bad set of facts. They're just bad advice all around.
I've never taken propionate, but I just know you have to dose it daily, like you have to. Not that it's like optimal, like cypionate dosing is. One, you have to. Two, it supposedly hurts. It's like, why do you want to take this every day that hurts? And it's just not as good as stable. It's just, you're not going to feel as good as the longer stuff like cypionate or enanthate.
It always amazes me, the people that do that on the Facebook page. Like, how they'll do something so stupid, and you're like, why? Because so-and-so did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing ever good starts with my friend at the gym told me to.
No, nothing.
Or anyone who's using the lingo, like you said, too, sourced, right? People say, "Yeah, I source." You don't get stuff, you source it. You don't have stuff, you have it on hand. You don't get blood work done, you get bloods. I was like, if you're talking like
pinning,
you're not injecting, you're pinning. It's like, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just stupid.
No, it's true.
It's
Terry
crazy.
from the gym told me. That's what he sells it out of the trunk of his Fiero. Just like, Jesus Christ.
where he also lives.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like I got more at my mom's house.
It's cut off Pantera shirt.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Sir Greystone says, "I'm taking DSIP, CJC 1295, PPC 157, also taking SS31.
Grab bag.
Recoup from workout is much easier than years ago. I'm happy about the peptides." Yeah, it's a lot of different stuff. I keep running into guys too wanting to take BPC 157 all the time. I don't think that's a great idea. Right? Do you really want this?
I'm a purposeful use guy as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you hear, "Hey, some recovery from injury sounds awesome, man. Don't I want that all the time?" I don't think you do. One of the things it does is angiogenesis, growth of new blood cells, blood vessels. I don't think you want that. I don't know what that's going to do, and no one else does either. So
don't let anybody try and say they know.
Yeah, they don't.
Right.
They just don't. There's no long-term study showing what that's going to do. You don't want to be the study.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, or you don't want to be a case study. Hey, this guy was taking BPC for 157. Look at this awesome abdominal.
Yeah, we'll be
tumor he
reading
grew.
about you, patient zero, someday on
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah, and I don't like scare tactics or whatever it might be, but especially for something that it's probably not doing that much good stuff for you anyway. Yeah, if you're injured and you're I'd rather see you taking that than a bunch of ibuprofen for 6 months. You know, get over the injury,
Yeah.
fix the insult that caused it in the first place. Don't do it again. And then, you know, you're patched up and good to go. Short term is probably fine. Probably not a big deal. But yeah, I think most of these things should be used short term and purposefully, like Mason said, without a doubt.
Yep.
And he says, cheers, gentlemen. Thank you for the information. You're welcome, man. Thanks for watching and thanks for contributing. Appreciate it. What else do we have here?
Hey, Josh, I wanted to say something real quick.
Sure.
A guy reached out from today. He's from Sweden, and he his testosterone. He was on TRT from his doctor. His testosterone went over 600,
Oh
and
my.
the doctor cut him off.
Oh
it's-
man.
You got
It's
too high?
So he had to go
He's fixed.
underground, and he's like, he's like, I know you don't recommend this, but it is what it is. And he's like, but I do appreciate you and Josh in the podcast because that's how I know like what to do and what not to do. And I'm like, hey man, listen, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
You got to do.
It sucks, I know, but he's just
Do
like,
what you
geez,
gotta
can you believe it? 600 and they cut me off. I'm like, no, I can't, but it is what it is, you know, but you got to do what you got to do. He's like, no, just let Josh know I appreciate you guys. I'm like, yeah, you
Cool,
got
man.
it, dude.
Much love.
Yeah, right.
That's
Like, I
crazy.
don't condone it, but I get it.
That's
Back
what we're-
to we've talked about this in the past. The guidelines say don't treat above. Try and keep the level between 450 and 600. You know, I
Right.
had that on my note today that
Yeah.
I use AI to chart. And
Is
it
that the
throws
Endocrine
citations.
Society?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think AUAs is that. I'm going to pull up AUAs right now. I'm loading the app.
Yeah, he went. So I guess the last time he got blood, it went over 600. So doctor said, you're done. Just cut him off cold turkey,
What
which
a,
is ridiculous.
that's, yeah, I mean that's malice at this point. Almost, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean that's actively harming the patient because he's gonna be chemically castrated for a bit. You know?
Right.
Yeah, come back when it drops back down again, and we'll get you going. Can you imagine if you did other
Right.
meds like that? Hey, your A1C is 7. Let's
Yeah.
take a couple months off from your GLP. Let's see if we could crank that up a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
I
So,
want you to come back just before you go into DKA, though. That won't be too bad. So just come back in, and we'll get you back online. We'll just bounce back and forth like this, and
Jesus.
so
awesome. Medicine.
AUA's position says clinicians should adjust testosterone therapy dosing to achieve a total testosterone level in the middle tertile of the normal reference range. So like 500.
Again, this is guidelines to give to the mass treating prescribers across the world to limit, potentially limit all harm. Like I think we were talking about it at the last one. Like you're not going to have any negatives with a testosterone level of 500, basically. And so, if it's just this podunk doc that puts somebody on testosterone without any monitoring, but truly getting a 500 would be kind of hard. I guess androgel, but injection wise, it would be just little flicks of testosterone, but it's just to try and limit everything across the world, limit damage. I mean, I don't think there's gonna be damage if you accidentally get them to 650, but I think they're just trying to be extremely conservative.
critical testosterone level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guidelines are not for experts. They're for general practitioners. You look up something you don't know about, you don't normally do. You need a quick reference to see, how do I get this person started on this medication, or how do I treat condition X, whatever it might be. So that's why you want someone who knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
There's another comment on YouTube. I answered one of our old episodes. Someone had a question on there asking about how they find someone good, and they said their endocrinologist said that they have to follow the guidelines. It's like, she doesn't have to, she wants to, and she should be comfortable saying that to you too. Like, hey, these are the guidelines, this is what I prefer to follow, and then you decide if you want to see, an expert or not. But to say I have to, like there's some law or something, that's not true.
No.
It's
Right.
just not. It's not the way it is, and it's too bad.
Yeah.
You know, and
I
there
had the
is some.
impression,
So from like the emergency department, I was thinking back at just I was kind of reflecting on how my practice has changed from the emergency department days. And that, you mean, you really don't want to stray too much. And they're there to guide you in a sense. You have to know so much and treat so much and things. You don't have a lot of time to like look things up. So you want to be somewhat able to just, pull up, what's the current sepsis guidelines? Okay, let's do that. And then, and again, there's reimbursement attached to guidelines. And so that's another thing that, you want to follow to, whether you're not going to get the, whatever it is, CMS for reimbursement, if you don't give your 30 ml per kilo fluid bolus, which was a guideline for a long time. I think that just updated to do it because that's a ton of fluids for people at times. But anyways, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, my reflection. Yeah, how it's changed. Because I was pretty strict with it, and again, I was a young nurse practitioner treating people, and admitting to doctors and calling specialists and everything. And so it was like I kind of had to have some backing on what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. Did I get this scan? And it's like, well, guidelines don't recommend scanning for uncomplicated constipation in a pediatric patient, or whatever, just so that you're adhering to that and so that they know that I at least have an inkling of what I'm doing. But now,
but now you're also, like you said too, you're handing it off to a specialist here.
Yeah.
And your job in the ER is to make sure this person isn't dead. They're not dying today or within, the next X amount of time before they can get to the next follow-up and the next person, and they're stable and safe. And now the person who's the expert at dealing with whatever's happened with them can make it happen.
Yep.
So a little bit different, but yeah, it's interesting. What else we have here? Let's see. Daily dose health science. Is dosing a combo of individual response, body size, lifestyle? What primary drivers do you use to start someone off, and how long do you give before making adjustments with Reta? So, yeah, I think you want to start low and go slow. It's easier to add than take away. You'll really ruin someone's week or worse if you start too high. So you start with, kind of minimal dosing with that or any of the other GLP-1 type meds. And then it's going to take, 4 or 5 half-lives for these long-acting meds to reach steady states. You want to give it at least a little bit of time before you crank up a dose. I mean, 4 weeks is probably a standard average before you want to up a dose on a med. I've seen people do it a little bit sooner. You definitely don't want to do it week over week. Like, I took it for 1 week. I didn't notice a difference. Let's double the dose.
Right.
That's asking for big trouble. I like to do it, every 4 weeks or so. And then you go up based upon satiety. How are you feeling? Like, man, I feel pretty good, but I'm just a little bit hungry. I have a little bit of cravings. Okay, let's up it maybe a little bit. Or maybe it's, man, I could barely eat the amount of food you told me I need to eat for the minimum for my diet. Like that, you're taking too much. Let's back you off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think every 4 weeks you kind of reassess it, titrate it to do the diet you need to be doing, and then you see what you get. Red is a little bit different because you have that that glucagon antagonism, so you're going to get a little bit extra under the hood fat burning as compared to the other one. So people might say, oh well, beyond the satiety and the cravings, you have that extra piece there. But I think you still need to titrate it to that piece of it because that's where you're going to come off the rails with it.
Yeah, and make sure you don't get any Reta. You somewhat make sure the resting heart rate doesn't go too crazy. We still don't really know at this time, or I haven't seen anything. See if y'all, but how significant is the increase in resting heart rates with the GLP-1? Right now it seems negligible to nothing with the benefits they're getting, but that is something that we really don't know how much of an impact this is happening. So like on me, tirzepatide, it does raise my resting heart rate about 7 to 10 every time I bring it back up. It doesn't seem to change based off dosing. Again, I've never taken 15 milligrams or super high dosing, but that does it. Reta is supposed to be a little bit more impactful in that. I don't have near of the anecdote experience with Reta really I'm asking patients who tell me they're on it, you know, like, did you notice much of this? I'm getting some data from them to see if they can help me somewhat follow that to see, is it more than 10? Is that going to make an impact? You know, because we just don't know yet at this point. But I will let them self titrate up a little faster. But I do, like, just like you said, you got to, these long half lives, it's going to take 6 weeks to get a good steady state. But I'll kind of let them do it every 2 weeks. But again, it's just real minuscule. We kind of have a protocol where it's just real minuscule dosing. And sometimes that's nice because that's all they need. They just need a little touch of an increase, you know, like from just say Manjaro goes from 2.5 to 5 to 7.5 to 10. That's a pretty big jump, honestly. Like, I have people who I'll go from 2.5, feel stuck, go to 3, and it's perfect for them, you know?
Right.
And so I essentially let them titrate to protein intake. If they can't get their protein in, we need to decrease the goal.
Yeah.
Something else that I see a lot that is somewhat a hard thing to convey to patients at times is with these GLP-1s, they'll feel they won't ever want to eat a real meal, and they'll snack all day, and they won't be losing weight because they're just eating these little carb-heavy, calorie-dense snacks 5-6 times a day, but never getting substance in their meal. And with those people, I actually lower their dose so that they can get a full meal in, and then that snacking kind of breaks away. They stop getting those extra snacks in, and now they're losing with less med, and they're hesitant to do that. They don't believe me, you know. But if I hear somebody who, like, I'm not hungry, but I'm not losing weight, I'm not hardly even eating anything, it's almost guaranteed they're drinking their calories, or they're getting too many high calorie snacks throughout the day, and they're definitely not getting their protein for the vast majority of them.
Yeah, I like the idea of the self. Go ahead, man.
It seems like a lot of the guys that I talk to that do Reta with TRT only do like 1 or 2 mgs and feel fantastic. Like, they're losing weight, everything's good, they're still hitting their protein goals. They don't have to go crazy. I mean, there are guys that do 6, 10, 12, but the vast majority seem like they're at 1 and 2 mgs a week. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there could be some people who are a little more disciplined anyway, and they're getting some of that benefit of that glucagon, glucagon effect, and now they're benefiting from that. Or they just need a little bit to just kind of take the edge off the hunger, so they can stick to the diet a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think it actually works probably a little bit better for people who are a little on the healthier side in that way. That's why I think the bodybuilding community really took to it. Because on the flip side of it, I have some people who have gone from semaglutide to tirzepatide, and the semaglutide just made them feel awful and sick, and they don't want to eat. And they're like, "That's awesome, I can't eat." They go to tirzepatide, and they don't feel as bad. And like, "No, this stuff sucks."
Yeah.
It works really good.
No, I
It's
think we get
probably
that
a
lot,
better
too.
idea, right?
When your gauge is, am I eating or not? And then, like, sometimes that's not necessarily the goal.
Right.
It shouldn't be, am I not eating? And like, that's what they base the efficacy on. They're like, oh, I'm still eating. And it's like, this isn't a starve yourself, like we could just lock you in a room to do that. Like,
Right.
you
Yeah,
don't
just don't
need
eat if
medication
that's what you want to do.
Right. Drives me nuts.
Yeah.
It's
You
something I
said
have to tell myself is hunger is not an emergency. Like,
yeah.
I have to have self-talk with that. It's like, it's okay to be be hungry. It's like, I don't want to wipe out somebody's entire appetite, but I just want you to be in control of it, and this is my own personal, I struggle to be in control of mine at times in the evenings. And it's just from the emergency department. I just set myself up this way to where I was busy. I wouldn't eat that much, and I'd get home and my entire stress relief was just eating. And so that's where they've really helped me a lot. And at this time, I would probably be on one for the foreseeable future, and is that cheating? Probably, but we have air conditioning, and I like air conditioning.
Right.
I'm not going to get rid of my AC,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, who the hell are you cheating? Yourself?
Right.
You
Yeah.
rather feel worse? I mean, it's
Right. Yeah. If it takes the edge off, and you say, hunger is an emergency, that's awesome. I love it. But story time from Grandpa here. Back in the olden days, before the GLP-1 medications, if I'd write a diet for someone, if they want to lose some fat, I'd say I want you to be a little bit hungry most of the time. That's if that it's working. That hunger is not an emergency. This shit's working. That's what we want. We want you to be a little bit hungry. And someone on a weight gain or muscle gain diet, I want you to feel a little full most of the time. And this is for people who won't track their calories or don't want to.
Right.
They still should. But if it's working and you're using that method, that's one way to do it. Be a little bit hungry most of the time, not starving, and you're losing at a reasonable rate. Another thing, to answer this other guy's question too about, I don't like people losing more than about 1% of their body weight per week. That's probably too much. They're pushing it too hard there too. So it's not just the hunger, but without these meds, that signal is good. Yeah, you're a little bit hungry. Awesome, perfect. This thing's working, and you're losing it somewhere around that rate. Awesome plan. It's working good. With feeling full all the time, people sometimes don't realize it's working. I get that too.
Yeah.
So like Mason said, you let him self titrate. I like the idea of that too. But I always have him. I tell him I want him to check in with me, just to let me know how it's going and they plan to make this change. Because sometimes they're just wrong. Like, oh, this isn't working. And they ask them what they're doing. And they're like, you lost 5 pounds this month? Like, you haven't lost 5 pounds in 20 years, dude. That's awesome. Maybe you don't need to do more. Or it's some large amount of weight. Well, I still feel a little bit hungry. So, but you're still losing weight. Like, do you want to spend more money on these meds and use more of it and risk side effects? Or maybe you just carry on and it's working. The plan's working. So a lot of moving parts. And it complicates things, blunting the hunger signal for sure.
Mike, that's something that I think is extremely familiar, is that, or it seems like a lot of the people, they took them 25 and 30 years to gain 60 pounds and all this stuff. And then they're like, I'm 5 weeks in, I've only lost 3 pounds. I'm like, yeah, I know. What do you think? Like, you're not going to lose 60 pounds in a month. Like, it's just not going to happen. It takes time. It took you 30 years to do it. Let's give it a year here and see where you are in a year.
Right.
Exactly. You can make a shitload of progress with all these peptides and working out and getting your shit together. You can make a significant impact in 1 year. But to lose it in 6 weeks is not reasonable.
Yeah, it's not going to go well. You're going to lose your hair. You're going to feel like crap. You're going to look like shit. It's all bad.
Yep.
Yeah, even mine, I was kind of saying at the beginning, I've been in a purposeful, fat loss phase for 3 to 4 months now. And so, I'll say, but before I was still losing weight, but I was more intuitively dosing tirzepatide, if that makes sense. Like, I just was dosing it enough to keep me around 18 to 20% body fat to where I wasn't overeating, but I wasn't really tracking. I wasn't really watching tons. I just liked it in the background for the appetite. Now I've been purposeful with it. And, I thought once I got to the weight that I'm at that I'd be pretty shredded. And now it's like, okay, well, I still got another 10 pounds. Really, if I was like, once you get to these spots too, it's crazy how much you have to go. Like, I'm not trying to get on a stage or anything, but if I was, I'd have to drop another 20 pounds of fat while maintaining the muscle. And I'd really have to dial in even further, because I'm still in the 80 good, 20% bad, 90 good, 10% bad. Like, there'll be days this is off topic. I'm getting off topic, but it was nice also on the 4th of July. I still tracked everything, even though I didn't go off the rails. I just was not going to not eat everything. And I was like, hit 5,000 calories, 300 grams of protein. Really those calories came a lot from fat though. So it was cool just kind of seeing where they come from. When you throw in a hamburger and some jalapeno poppers and chips and dip. Yeah. There's no alcohol in there really. But those would have added a lot.
No, I tell it to my folks who do drink too. It's not, it's occasionally it's not gonna kill you. It is what it is. But yeah, it makes you think about it too. Like, am I gonna have 6 Coors Lights or 2 IPAs?
Right.
It's gonna go because you're probably not gonna have just 2 IPAs. You're probably gonna have 6 of those too. So might as well at least plug it in there, and you know where your calories went. Yeah,
the one thing is though, when you do have one of those days where you have like 5,000 calories, the next day when you work out, man, you feel like a fucking beast.
For 4 days after that last week, I felt I was pushing some weight, even though I was back in a deficit. I was still just coasting. It was awesome.
It is.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because one of those days occasionally is not going to be a big deal. It's not going to change the plan really at all. And it's crazy too, because if you're tracking everything and you plug that in there, it should make a dip in the math. Like, oh, I just set this whole thing off. But if it's just that occasionally and you're already a little depleted and you're working hard, your body just sucks that up and you heal up and now you're good to go and you're just a more efficient machine.
Yeah,
It's really pretty good. It's like we
it
talked
really
about
like
leg day before.
dumps a lot of fuel into the fuel tank.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, there's like a good 2 days after you do that. I mean, when your workouts, you're like, God damn, like you're just strong. You feel strong, and you're like, man, this is. And then it starts.
And carved up, so you feel like everything's.
That's
like,
right. That's exactly
like
it.
you're popping. You know, it's nice.
Yeah. No, it's true. You got a crazy pump after, like there's like a good 1 or 2 days after where your pump in the gym is crazy.
And Mason, you get to the point
every
too.
day.
I have a talk with people before they start their GLP-1 or before they start any diet with or without the meds. Hey, we're going to hit a point here in the near future where we're going to talk about a maintenance or a diet break, and you're not going to want to hear it. So I'm telling you now, because you're going to get to like four-ish months or so, and I'm going to tell you, hey, we need to take a maintenance, just let your body heal, because you're accumulating diet fatigue, whether you know it or not. You don't feel like you would, especially if you're on a GLP, because you don't have that hunger. If you weren't on it, you'd be like, oh, I need a break. That sounds great. But, you don't have that hunger signal, but you're getting more tired. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get sick. Your progress is going to stall out. Let's cut it now before if we wait too long, you need longer to recover. So now you take maybe a month even, because if you didn't push it too hard, maybe a month of maintenance. Now you're good to give it another run. Whereas maybe you need to go as long as the fat loss phase was. If you really hit it super hard, for 4 months and lost a ton of weight, you might need 3 or 4 months to recover before you're really ready to hit it again.
Right.
I like the idea of cycling those too, and you have to be mindful and throw that in there too.
Yeah, and that's that's my plan. Tomorrow we're going to the beach, and that's going to start my maintenance.
Perfect.
But I know myself. The hardest point at this time is going to not go off the rails. If I loosen my rein just a tad, I will take off running. And so I'm gonna try to just increase. I've been staying around 22 to 2400 calories, 200 to 220 grams of protein. It falls about 200 grams of carbs a day, and so I was gonna try to just increase increments of about 50 carbs a day for a little bit. Probably see what just 300 does for about a month, and see how I feel at that point, and then decide from there if I want to stay with that or I've never been under 200 pounds basically as an adult. Like I couldn't tell you the last time I was under 200 pounds, and so I'm right about 208. So I'm gonna go to maintenance for a while, but I want to hit 198, not depleted, like a good 198, and then from there, I'm just going to do a pure muscle building from there. I just want to touch it for a second, and then I'm going back up because I won't be able to live there.
Just want to have just a little taste. Just a little taste.
That maintenance is gonna make your next fat loss phase that much better. So you're way better. You're gonna make more progress than if you just keep grinding for sure. So good for you, man. It's a little bit of a good segue too. I put out a video on vacation a while ago, and I said, hey, if someone wants to hear about dieting into vacation, and a couple of people said, yeah, tell us about it. And that was like 2 months ago, and I never said anything. But it's an awesome way to do it, right? So you diet into vacation, not on vacation, because the diet's going to ruin your vacation. Your vacation is going to ruin your diet, right? So you're coming into this thing, you're going to be a little depleted. You're working real hard into it. Maybe you crush it the week going into it even a little bit more. And then how long are you going to be gone for?
Just like 5 days.
So 5 days, you're not going to be able to derail yourself that much in 5 days. Even if you ate like 1,500 calories more than average on all those days, you're gonna gain like 3 pounds maybe.
Yeah,
that's nothing, right? So even if you just go completely bananas, and you probably won't want to because you're on some meds still, it's not going to be washed out even if you stopped it and held your dose for a week, and you've been eating discipline, so it's probably not even going to sound good. But if you're sitting there, you're like, man, those chips look good. Have the chips, have the Skittles. Take it away from the kids. You've had enough. Those are mine now. You're eating those. You're eating those things, right? They go to bed. Where'd my Skittles go? Like, your dad ate them. Sorry.
I was just on vacation last week, and I had like a good 5-month run of eating very, very clean, like sporadic, a slice of pizza here, stuff like that. The first 3 days of vacation, dude, I was on the toilet, like, just like, oh God, I don't know if I'm going to survive. Because like we just went down there and just went fried foods, like the stuff, boardwalks, like that stuff. And my body just totally rejected it. So I was like, all right, I found a place called Love's Lemonade, and they make these like taco bowls. And the lady gave, like, I was just like, look, I just need rice and steak. And she was like, oh, I can do that. Like, so I just started eating that. And then it was just like, I would have like something just once a night, like a little thing. And then it kind of, balanced out. But yeah, my body was like, what is this?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw your clip on that too. I put a comment that said, so I only travel to places where I have a bidet available, so you can.
Right. Yeah, it's like, dude, it was terrible.
It could be tough.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's after dinner. We need to stop back at the room real quick here. Just don't worry about it. We'll be back with you guys. We'll reconvene in a little bit.
That's it.
Yeah, vacation eating can tear you up a little bit. Yeah, it's a good way to do it. So you go on a vacation, you're not gonna, you've had some discipline going into the thing. You have a time now, your body's healed, and when you get back, it's maybe that was the end of your diet phase. That's even better. That too, you come back, you're on maintenance, but maybe it's just a break in the diet, and you get back on track after. You're not going to derail it that much. What most people will do is, vacations come in, I'm going to start my plan after vacations. They eat like crap going into the vacation. They show up on vacation, they eat like crap on vacation. They get back. I'm busy catching up on work. I'll get back to my routine after that. And now 3 months are gone, whatever it is. Yeah. Or like here in Phoenix, it's hot as hell. So people will be telling me, when it's too hot to exercise. I'm like, it's hot here half the year, man. Like, this is not a good excuse. We need a better plan.
It's like what's the miscongeniality, the perfect date? It's like that's the only day a year that people can exercise. The one where it's not too hot, not too cold. And everything, and because that's what happened during the winter. It's like, it's too cold. I can't exercise out there. And then winter quickly turns into summer here. So there's about 2 weeks of the 70-degree days that they can hit. So it's like we got to figure out something just my approach to their exercise regimen. Again, this is general public for the most part, but it's. Just the best exercise to do is the best exercise that you'll do. Find something that you're not like trying to find the intrinsic motivation to get out and do. Find the exercise that it's like, hey, Tuesday's been a busy day, but I still got in there and got my work done because it's scheduled on Tuesdays. Find something, put it in your schedule, and that way you're not trying to find the motivation. It's just, this is what I do on Tuesdays and Fridays. I have a 40-minute workout session with Brian, the trainer, or something, it's like, or that's our weekly pickleball meetup where we play pickleball or something, it's just find something that you won't talk yourself out of and put it on the calendar and just adhere to it. The best for all of this that we've been talking about is just plain old boring consistency. Yes. Find something that, you move well, that you don't talk yourself out of. Find meals that are affordable, that taste good, that are not calorie dense, that get your protein. And, as unsexy as it is, eat it all the time, and just find something that you can be boringly consistent with. And then,
time is your friend for sure.
Yeah. It's like, don't underestimate the progress that you can make in 6 months. People want that in a week. And they overestimate what they can do in a week, but underestimate what they can do in 6 months. So they're trying to hit that hard where it's like, no, just let's take the edge off. So let's find things that are doable, that are repeatable, that's affordable, that you like, and just stick with it. That's the ticket.
My wife constantly says to me she's like, don't you ever get tired? You eat the same things over and over. And I'm like, in the beginning, it's kind of like hard. But then you just becomes like brushing your teeth. It's just like, for lunch I'm going to have chicken and rice.
Especially if your gut's not wrecked and you feel good and it's
exactly. Well, you're
Yeah.
seeing results and all that, and you're just like,
Mhm.
hey man, this is what works. And then she's like, yeah, but it has like no flavor. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It works. Gives me the fuel. You know,
Or
like
add
it's
flavor. You know, like some
yeah.
guys. This was so. It's funny. I've struggled with my weight a lot, and so there's a guy in the ER, and I still remember this. One of the techs, he came to me, or we're in the break room, and he was like had like half a burger left and some fries, and he was like, "Hey, you want the rest of this?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm on a diet." And he's like, "Dude, you've been on a diet since I met you 4 years ago." And so it's like, you know what? You're right. And I'm still just spinning my wheels. But the other thing is, I did burn myself out. I would take one wheat slice of bread, and I'd get a whole can of canned salmon, and I put it all on there, and that's just what I would eat, like no toppings, nothing. And I definitely burned myself out on it. And again, somebody else just called me out on it. It's like, bro, just put the low calorie sauce on it or something,
Dude, just
and then
salt, pepper, and garlic.
yeah.
Just put that on, and you're just like, damn, it changes. It tastes delicious.
Yeah. And now I can do things like that. It's like
Or you
canned
could have
chicken
just
or-
said, shut the fuck up and go eat your Twinkie, Susan.
That
I
actually
mean,
would have been a better response.
pick your audience. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Susan. She might be sensitive. Steve, fuck
Yeah,
off, Steve.
Yeah. No, and this was a guy, of course, eating the Whataburger that was, just skinny all the time. And,
Right. Yeah, those are the same people who ask you, "Oh, is that even good for you? Should be eating all that protein." I don't know, man.
I started
that's gonna be
adding
okay.
garlic to my eggs, and it's like I've never done that before. Someone just
Well, you
told me
sold
about
me.
it.
I'm gonna try it now.
Someone told me at work, they're like, "Have you ever put garlic powder in eggs?" I'm like, "No, that's gross." He's like, "Just try it." I tried it. I'm like, "What the fuck? Why didn't someone tell me about this?" When I went to my mom's, I'm like, "Mom, all these fucking years." She's like, "No one puts garlic in their eggs." I'm like, "Try it." She tried it. She's like, "Damn, that's good." I'm like, "I told you." Like, son
Well,
of
if you're
now.
making a savory omelet, I mean, garlic in there all the time. I mean, we make them here at the house once a week because we have our own chickens.
Yeah.
So,
I
and
love
I'll
our
get.
chickens.
I do too. My daughter's like, they have names and they have like a special pen and everything. And
How long have you known Matt for, Josh?
about 2 years.
2 years.
You haven't told him about this?
No, no one told me.
screwed
That
up.
was like-
Nobody
that
asks me about cooking.
Nobody
advice,
told me about
The
garlic
thing
and
is,
eggs.
Do
Now
you
I'm
know
telling
what
the
I
world.
did in a prior life? Chef.
Yeah.
Okay, just throwing
Yeah.
that out there.
Well, now I'm
Josh,
telling
that's
everyone.
that's now your niche. You need to be the the influencer that's just cooking up a good protein meal and just
One,
making it enough to
Making it delicious.
Yeah.
I don't
One,
have
one
big enough
culinary tip per
jugs or
episode.
something to like. Yeah, I see all these chicks like on TikTok that are just like pouring out and they're making food. I'm like, come on, this is nothing about food. Like nobody gives a shit what you're making,
yeah.
But it's
That
all
sounds
about
like my
the-
FYP. That's what a lot of that is.
I'm not like cool enough to make food. I'm not weird enough. I can make some weird shit. Like I made one of my favorite things to eat. I like sardines. Okay. And
Solid.
Sardines are
Best
good.
omega-3.
I
source,
eat,
yeah.
I eat a can of sardines at least once, maybe twice a week. All right. And drives my family nuts because they're like, that's disgusting. I'm like, try them. They're actually pretty good. They're smoked fish. They're tender as all get out. And I like to make like island avocado toast with sardines on it. So what I do is I'll get like a piece of toast, and then I'll take an avocado and just mash it up and put it on top. And I get red onion and I cut it real thin. I put that on top, and then I'll put my sardines on top of that, and then chipotle Tabasco on top of that, and smoked paprika.
Damn.
Chef's kiss, dude. So good.
Nice.
Like I'm telling
Yeah,
you, you get your
sardines are nice.
omega-3s. It's good in protein. You get your healthy fats. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
a be-all, end-all, and you're full for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
it's a meal, and and people are like, that looks disgusting. I'm like, don't knock it until you try it. It's delicious. So it's got a lot
Yeah,
of
if you
bold
get-
flavors.
sardines in if they're packed in olive oil too. It's like a built-in dressing. You dump that over some
Yeah, you
some
drizzle it over
spinach and some
top.
tomatoes or something. It's
Yeah,
pretty
King
nice.
Oscar makes a Mediterranean one that has olives and a couple other things packed in with the sardines, and it's excellent. I love them. So, if you've never had a sardine and you're listening, go buy a can, try it, and then also go watch the Tinned Fish guy on YouTube. He does like reviews of sardines. It's hilarious. So,
What a niche. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Oh, it's awesome. He has like a
Tin
fez.
fish guy.
He
Man,
has
the
a
friggin'
fez on his
internet
head.
has everything.
And he has a tassel hanging down, and he has a dog that's like an Australian Shepherd with like a fez hat on its head, and like his delivery is so deadpan. He's like, "What fish do we have today?" And then like, he cracks the tin open and he like throws it on. And he's like, "This looks delicious. What
That's
fork should we
awesome.
choose?" And he has like a cup with like 8,000 forks, and he like picks one out.
He's probably a Macro Factor affiliate. He probably got
Yeah, right. They begged him. They
He's
begged
got
him
the
for
audience
years.
for it.
Yeah.
They're-
Like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mike,
Josh, I think
reapply
you
now
should
that
do
you,
that, man.
you have 1,000 YouTube subscribers. You should reapply now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I forget what the
yeah.
threshold was. I don't know what it was. Probably something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
But Josh, I think that would
Travis-
be cool, man. Talk about a TRT or hormone metabolic health related topic, and as you're whipping up something good to eat.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that would
I cook quite a bit, at least 2 to 3 times a week. It really just depends on what the kids are doing, and but I enjoy it. My son and daughter have expressed some interest in cooking. I'm trying to get them into cooking because that's one of the biggest things that I see for failure of the future generations is lack of cooking, and I say this like if you look at the younger generations now on how many kids are just getting from like DoorDash, and then they're going to have all these metabolic problems because nobody's going to know how to cook their own food, and they're just, and then they're not going to understand that like actual real food exists beyond like what McDonald's or whatever's in the portal for DoorDash.
And financial health is.
Oh, it's
gonna
terrible.
suffer.
It's so
You know,
expensive.
I mean, can you? I just a guilty pleasure of mine is watching like these financial audits where these people are just horrendously bad with their money.
Oh, it's terrible.
And it's so much. A lot of it's bad food and over purchasing vehicles is the two. I'd say the two things keeping America broke. And that's an argument they say all the time is like, well, healthy food is too expensive, and it's like, man, I have canned chicken over there that I don't know how much it was, but almost nothing, and that's several meals.
Yeah.
It's 40 grams of protein and 250 calories, almost nothing. And my sauces, this should be a plug, but Joey Swole is an influencer bodybuilder guy. He has these low-calorie sauces, and I'm actually on board. They're delicious. That's what I put in the canned chicken to make it
Oh, really?
edible. Yeah, and they're delicious, and they're almost no calories, and so you can I just lather that on whatever I want, and it makes it much more edible.
Yeah.
Have you
All right,
ever
so we
had
need
a
a sauce, an app, and a cooking
Yeah.
channel, and then we'll be good.
Have
Maybe
you ever
we'll
had
be real influencers. At that
Yellow
point.
Bird sauces before? Have you ever had
Uh-uh.
those? Those are
Yellow
excellent.
Bird?
Yellow Bird. They're real good. I don't know the like macros of them, but they're mostly like hot sauces, so I don't think that they're very like calorie dense. Like
Yeah, most of the Tabasco and hot sauces are.
yeah, Tabasco's got like no calories. That's why I like the smoked
Yeah.
Tabasco. It's like super low. There's like no calories in it. But you gotta use the smoked one. Don't use regular Tabasco. The smoked one is like the Chipotle one. That's the one that it is. So
I see a couple other questions in here too. Which peptides do each one of you guys take?
I think the appropriate answer would be which peptide have I not taken?
Just all of them?
That would probably be more appropriate.
You just
I
get them
think-
all and mix them in a bowl.
I did.
Not even sterile, just literally in a bowl.
Just
little-
fucking
little garlic
got the
powder.
whisk going, and
A little garlic powder in there and pull it up.
That's it.
I mean, I take tirzepatide for sure. Tesamorelin is what I'm doing currently. I'll typically do like Tesamorelin for a couple months, take several months off. I'll do CJC. I've done those two. And that's really those are really the only ones that I strafe up. Oh, I've done BPC, and then also the TB500, and then also GHK copper. I've done that as well. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I've done some.
I've only ever done CJC with IPA, TB, and BPC. And what was the other one, Josh? Wasn't there?
HCG, you've done that. It's peptide.
Oh, HCG.
Oh, yeah, I've done HCG. Yeah.
Occasionally. And then there's one more.
I know. I'm trying.
What's
to
the
think of what it is.
LR3?
IGF.
IGF-1 LR3.
Yeah.
That was That's the only ones
I
I've
forgot
ever
about
done.
that one.
Mm-hmm.
That one's a shorter course than some of the other ones.
Yeah.
So works, I think.
Yeah.
So.
CJC is my favorite.
Yeah.
I think
Same.
that's my.
Yeah, nice for sleep. Just to get that little. So I've done CJC 1295 with ipamorelin, pre-bed 5 times per week, 6 months on, take some time off, just kind of on and off. I've tried tesamorelin. CJC with ipamorelin is real nice for sleep. You get that tingling sensation that most people will feel with it, and then you just kind of turn down the volume a bit and you get a nice solid sleep. It just feels good. It seems to be good for recovery. I noticed my hair and fingernails grow faster.
Yeah, they do. Like, it's kind of annoyingly fast.
Yeah, I was like, didn't I just
cut these bastards? Like,
right? Yeah. It's like, it's doing something. It's doing something. There's something happening in there. So I think those can be real nice. PPC 157 and TB 500. I've had a couple times where my elbows have just been jacked. Just medial and lateral, sometimes both at the same time. Like, damn it, this isn't good. Trying to take a break from everything. All right, I'm not doing any pull-ups. I'm using wraps for anything I'm going to grip.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I can't open a jar anymore. I need to do something. I don't want to take ibuprofen. I don't want to inject something. Glucocorticoids in there. So yeah, brief, but again, a brief run of it. Not something I would want to take all the time. And I don't know. It seemed to work. Maybe it was going to self-resolve anyway, but a couple of weeks of running that stuff, and man, it's like, I'm back. So I try to do less stupid stuff and not flare it up again. I've used that twice, and it seemed to work pretty good, both times. I've used melanotan too in the past. That can be some pretty interesting stuff. I'm pretty sure I permanently made myself a shade or two darker from taking some melanotan. Which is good, right? I'm Irish.
Yeah.
I'm Irish and Russian. I live in a state where it's 300 plus sunny days a year. I like to go vacation at the beach. I don't like to be sunburned. So it is what it is. I mean, that's
right. Smart.
So I think so. I think that you talk about risk versus reward. Being sunburned probably isn't a great thing.
No.
Are you pretty familiar, like skin check wise? Did that change anything that you noticed?
Not that I noticed. I mean, it's hard though too. You start getting older and this stuff pops up anyway. I go to the dermatologist twice per year. I've had some stuff cut off, but just family history too. And my dad's had, I don't know, like half his skin chopped off. I think this guy. So, for that's worth. He's sending me pictures all the time. He's like, check out this chunk. He's like, man, that's a big piece of something.
Damn.
So, yes, I don't know. I don't know if melanotan. I don't think I have an unusually larger amount of moles or changes to spots or anything like that from it, but I think that could be pretty good stuff too. I think that's about it. HCG I used when I first started testosterone. I didn't notice any difference. Right around the time where it got expensive and hard to get, I just stopped and realized I didn't feel any different. I just never started it up again. When it became cheaper and more available, I was like, why? So I just never. I
actually feel better on HCG.
Same.
Like, I have some guys who
Yeah.
hate it. I mean, they just can't. I mean, they're like,
Oh,
I'm
sure.
going to use this
Yeah.
until I get my wife pregnant and I'm out. But like, I feel better on it. Whether that's maybe mild backfilling or maybe it's just, I mean, HCG is so weird to be injected in the male body. I don't know if we know all what it does, aside from the LH receptors, but I do feel better subjectively on it. So I'll do that at least. I mean, I get the 12,000 IU and do it twice a week, so it lasts like 3 months. And I'll do that once a year or so. I'm not trying to have kids at all, but just for really subjective improvement, I like it. So I do that occasionally.
Yeah, I have a guy who said he both loves it and hates it. He's like, man, I never felt better or sharper mentally. there's something nice about it, but he said he was just too labile on it. He's like, then on the other side, it would be moody and feel like crap. And he's like, it was just, I don't like being like that. And as soon as he stopped it, he's like, within a few weeks, that part went away. But then he was also feeling a little bit foggier in the head. He's like, man, I don't know. It's tempting to try it again, but interesting. I told him maybe you should try like low daily dosing or more frequent dosing to try to see what he wants to do. But it sounded like it didn't. He was with another clinic when he tried it before. It sounded like it didn't go great before, whatever all the details of that was. So he's a little leery to try it again. But yeah, you don't know. You don't know how it's going to affect you. It's hard to know with that one.
Yeah. I guess that leaves me. I'm currently, I guess I'll do it this. What am I using currently and what have I taken? We'll say that. I'm currently on CJC and ipamorelin. I run that about twice a year. I'll be wrapping that up in about 4 weeks. And then I'll be taking a break from it for a period of time. I also take HCG about twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. It just depends. Like if I forget, it's in there. That's it for peptide. Actually, I take that back. I just started about 2 weeks ago. KPV, BPC, and TB. I have this horrible SI joint issue on like my left butt cheek, and it makes like getting up out of bed, it hurts like really bad. And I let it go for like a couple weeks. I was trying to do some foam rollers. Like I didn't run right to like the peptides. I really tried to do stretches and some workouts, and it just wasn't getting any better. I tell you when it really bothered me, if I would go golfing with my friends, like I could barely do the back nine. Like I was like hobbling along. Like that's how bad it was causing me to like hurt. So I finally pulled the trigger and I went with those 3 because I've done BPC and TB in the past for left elbow tendonitis, which it did really do a good job. But I've been reading a lot about KPV as well. So I added that in just to kind of see if it's helping. I've been on it now for about 2.5 weeks. So I got about another week and a half to go. It's getting better. I'm noticing some changes there for sure. But and somebody in chat asked about MOTS C. I have that currently. I got it because I got another peptide vendor, and every time I get a new peptide vendor, I always order a product to try from there just to make sure like the packaging is okay. Like I don't want to get it and it be like horribly looks jankety, not good, and then order that for patients in the future. So I ordered it. I'm currently on it. Definitely, I take it on days that I work out only. I don't really take it like every day. So I'm taking a smaller dose, like less than recommended, but on purpose. And I definitely notice increased aerobic capacity on the days that I do take it, and maybe like the day after. Subjectively, I can't prove that, obviously. And that's all I'm on currently. Historically, I've also taken Epitalon. I do that twice a year. So that should be coming up here shortly. And I've also done Tesamorelin. I've done GHKCU. I've done... trying to think what else. I'm sure there's probably something else in there, like some random one. But I haven't done any of the obscure ones that you see people take. I mean, everything I've done has a purpose in mind. Like I'm not just taking it to, stab myself with a needle. I'm taking it because there might be a legitimate benefit that I'm trying to explore for it, not just because I'm like, oh, hey, like I don't have this problem, but I'm going to take it anyway. So I haven't done any of that type of stuff. So, yeah.
Have y'all done Solank or C-Max?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I've done that too.
How did you like that?
I didn't get it for me. I'll put it that way. I got it for my wife, all right, because she was complaining of like some anxiety related issues. She's kind of like she's a nervous person anyway, I guess I'll put it that way. So I got it for her, and she did it for... Yeah, right. I'm being very gentle there.
Yeah, I know.
It'd be awesome if Josh suddenly went offline.
yeah. If this goes dark real quick, then
You just
call
see a
me.
flash go across the screen.
I need a wellness check, okay? But I got it for her, and she did it for like a week, and she's like, I don't know if it did anything. I'm like, we have to take it till it's gone. We had the nasal sprays. And then it just sat in my fridge for like a week, and nobody was going to use it. And I'm like, well, if nobody's going to use this, like I might as well give it a whirl. So I finished it out, I didn't really notice anything, but I also wasn't having any problems. I was seeing if it gave me any little bit more focus because I've heard that it does that before. I didn't
Yeah.
really notice it, but I could see some people that might have that issue. That could be a problem. So, and I say that, and she's like, she didn't think it works, but I did see some changes, like a little bit longer. So I think if she would have just continued, it probably would have mellowed us out a little bit longer for sure. So,
Yeah, because I have not done either of those or Mont C, and those would be on my next kind of.
definitely give Mont C a try for sure.
Yeah, so like my view with a lot of this stuff is I have my core things and I have one variable, and I play with that one variable. So like, you know, I supplement with protein to get my protein. I take creatine, I take magnesium glycinate at night, I take testosterone, tirzepatide I'm basically on most of the time now. And then I kind of have one thing that I play with. You know, right now is tesamorelin. Once I finish that, then, you know, maybe that's whenever I'll do HCG, maybe I'll do NAD, you know, whatever.
Ironically, I've never done NAD.
Oh, still?
No,
Yeah.
still haven't done it.
Yeah, I've tried it too. Technically, it's not a peptide. so
Right,
I didn't
technically, it's
mention
a
it.
coenzyme.
Yeah. But
I think it's pretty good. It gives you a pretty nice kick. You get I get a very strange flush. It sounds like some sort of street drug.
Didn't you
get
do
this
that
very
before?
strange flush?
Matt,
NAD?
didn't you get
Oh,
some
yeah.
NAD early on? I think I did. Didn't we send that early
I
on?
don't know. Maybe did you?
Yeah, I'm pretty
I
sure
don't
we
know.
did. That was
Oh,
like
maybe.
over a year ago.
Oh yeah. Well then probably.
It obviously was not too impactful.
No, I don't remember. So
I think you get a pretty nice cognitive boost from it. I mean, you have a cup of coffee and some NAD plus, and go get some work done. It's pretty good. Feels
Honestly,
pretty good.
yeah, we have had good success with it, and I've taken it as well. And even exercise capacity seemed to improve on it with me. For some reason, I don't know why I will not be consistent with it. I just can't get it to fall into my routine to give it a good, 8 weeks of an assessment like I do most things. It's like I'm going to be consistent with it to give it a good assessment. I like it. I take it short term, and then it's like I feel good and I fall off and stop doing it because I feel good, So
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's one too. You might actually replenish some stores a little bit too, and be okay for a bit. So there is that.
yeah, I've
That
seen
could be
these
something.
protocols, like with the IVs, or you'll kind of do like high dose for like 5 days, even sub-Q injections. And then after that, you're good for like a month or two. It depends on each person. And, probably if you're older, you probably have less NAD reserves at baseline than a younger person. But yeah, I've seen various protocols in that way, a little bit all the time, or just like front load and coast from it.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it for a bit. I was doing it 3 times per week. Maybe I forget the dosing now. Maybe it was, we talked about it before. It was some,
Yeah, it was a woman's dose.
some lady dose amount of it.
Yeah.
And, it was pretty effective. Like I felt it. I was like, man, more than this might not feel good, because there's a pretty good head rush and then a pretty good amount of energy. And I was like, I might be a little overstimulated with too much. So
It does feel weird. It's made me like, I've done it whenever I did it, is like I could feel the outlines of my muscles that I worked out in the last week.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like,
for sure.
It's kind of
Same.
wild.
Yeah, it's an odd feeling. It's an odd feeling for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I should mention too. Yeah, I take a very small dose of tirzepatide, a milligram, 1 to 2 milligrams per week, and that's just to keep I have a pretty strong family history of diabetes. It's just like 90% of my aunts and uncles all have bad histories of it, and my A1C always just ran just a little bit, normal high. So I take a little whiff of that, keeps my A1C like 5.1, 5.2.
Yeah.
And that's really it. I don't, maybe I'll run it on a little bit of a higher side for a little bit of diet support, but yeah, I don't like to go too high. I've tried 5 milligrams of tirzepatide before. It did not go well. I titrated up slow, and it was not a good time. Like, I don't know how people do this shit. So I was cheap date for this, but man, it was difficult. It was difficult.
The highest I've ever worked up was 7.5, and I really didn't feel bad or anything. I just kind of stopped. I was like, I don't need to go any higher, so I just went back down to 6, and that seems to kind of. And I do it twice a week. I do 3 twice a week. I like.
Oh, you split it?
I like splitting the GLP-1s for twice a week, just like testosterone. You know, it's like just more stable overall. You don't get. We have patients that would be like, well, I can't eat for 3 days, and then the last 2 days before my injection, I'm recouping all my calories. So we just have to dose and do it twice a week, and it works really well.
Interesting. Yeah, I only have a few people doing it like that. For a lot of them, the standard once a week seems to get the job done for them. But I do get that occasionally. They get hit hard, where there's some negative, some negative effect, and we split it, and then they feel pretty good. What is this? I see a comment here from Charlie Bones. He says Mike smokes a cigarette after his AI session. I don't know where you're going with that,
but I like it.
It's funny. It's
I
funny.
wish I could upvote it or whatever. I don't know what it's for, but I like it.
It's funny. It's funny. What else we got? We got a couple more. I know we're going a little long. We're going a little long here too. You guys have a couple more minutes to knock out these last couple questions.
Yeah. Sure.
What do we have here? Starting at a free T of 55. Is this the same? Let's see. Lockout TXX. Starting a free T of 55 picograms per milliliter. What would be a good number to bring this to where low T symptoms could be relieved? Is there a number most guys feel good at? Yeah, that's something we've covered. We've covered before, but it's a common theme and a good one because free testosterone correlates more with symptom relief than total testosterone, and it's a lot of things. It's something pretty commonly ignored, especially by your primary care doctor, right? They don't even look at this kind of thing a lot of times. But so we talked about, Mason mentioned earlier, I think we normalize that to nanograms per deciliter. It's always important to compare apples to apples. So, it's going to be somewhere around 5.5 nanograms per deciliter. And most guys feel better. Our numbers different a little bit for each of us, but, I always say between 20 and 40 nanograms per deciliter is where guys feel about the best. So you're off by quite a bit there, man. You're 5.5 nanograms per deciliter. You probably need to be, probably around 20 or higher, where you feel pretty good.
Yeah,
so
4 to 5X,
something to think about.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's not like, hey, you're at 19. Am I going to feel that much better if I get it high? Some guys feel great at 19, and they're okay. So you have some. I think you could probably something you want to look into. What else we got here? It sounds like the Swedish government wants the guys weak and compliant. Yeah,
Yes.
There might be all governments.
That's a government thing. Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like you wouldn't want any trouble. Let's keep you fat and weak and girly.
Yep.
Not that girls
Cut you
aren't
off.
super tough, but we don't want the dudes uprising and.
Once you get to 600, you're cut off.
It's right. Like, whoa,
Becomes
whoa.
toxic masculinity if you're over
Yep.
600.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you need you need counseling. You need everything. What do we got here? Daily dose health science, boringly consistent. Amen to that. Yeah, consistency is super important. I had a funny thing. So we had a trip not too long ago. We're sitting at a beach bar, young couple sitting next to us. They were in their early 20s. Guy from Texas. We just started chatting. He's he's overweight kid. But he asked me, he's like, oh man, I got to ask you. He's like, how old are you? So I was talking to my girlfriend here, and I told her, when I get older, I want to start getting in shape, and, I want to be in shape like you when I'm older. So like, oh, okay, it's a nice, thanks for the left-handed compliment there, kid. Like, I'm an old man, but all right. I'm chilled out. We're at the beach, so let's talk. So he's like, he's asking, so I tell him how old I am. I tell him I'm 51. And he says, well, when did you start working out? Because, I plan to, after I have grandkids and stuff, he's like, I don't want to make myself so unhealthy I'm diabetic, but after I have grandkids, then I'll really start, getting after it. So again, now I'm a grandpa too. So now this guy, so I told him, he's like, when did you start working out? So he thought maybe I was going to say 5 years ago or something. I was like, yeah, it was about 14. So that kind of knocked him off his stool a little bit because we were talking about consistency. It's like, man, it's you got to start now. Do something, dude.
Yeah,
You don't have
why
to
is
go
he
to the
saying he
gym.
wants to wait till he's older to work out? That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Like,
Yeah,
Exactly.
like I'm going to go through my whole life, and then all of a sudden, like, hey, now's
Time to
the
get
time.
in shape.
Yeah, no, I couldn't let that go. So I did ask him. He said, well, I'm just young and I want to have fun. And I was like, so you think I just had zero fun for like, for
Right. Like as if
45
working
years
out
or-
and being healthy
or
is
40 years,
not
35
fun.
years? It's like, no, man, it's, everything in moderation. I'm sitting there, I literally have a beer in my hand right now as I'm telling you this story. So, I mean, it's doable. You can do, they're not mutually exclusive. I was like,
Right.
clean up your act, man. Cause it's not so it was a little bit funny. So yeah, hopefully, went home and did something good.
Especially
It's kind
when
of
you're
like the
young. You can
old.
rebound so much quicker when you're young.
Oh
You
yeah,
can go
yeah,
out and
20.
hit it hard, and the next day you're fine. Like,
Yeah, you don't have 40-year-old joints yet. Like,
Yeah,
No.
yeah. At 22, yeah, you can do both. You can do
Yes.
both. Recover from all of it, and it's all gonna be
Yep.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, So I don't know. Hopefully, he took something away from it, and I wasn't slurring my words too much for him to understand. But anyway,
It's kind of like live oak is a tree, so I like to throw it in trees anytime I can. But the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is today.
oh for sure.
It's like, why wait? Let's just start today, because you gotta, when it takes a long time to figure out what works for you, what you like to do, and then trial and error. I mean, it's 2 years of like just stumbling through before you get,
Yep.
solidified in your routine and stuff and find what you like to do, and et cetera, et cetera.
It's true.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, we have a couple of good votes in here. Some guys like the egg. Guys with eggs, garlic powder, minced onion, garlic powder, Redmond's real salt. Lex Live should be cooking with Josh. So there we go. Oh, I see you commented back to him there.
Yeah, maybe the next live will log on my phone. I'll set out there and I'll cook something and do it.
Yeah. David says love CJC IPA but hate having dinner early. Yeah, it makes you plan a little bit, but again, that might be another little forced thing too to kind of get in your plan too, right? If that's going to make you stop eating after 9 o'clock, there you go. You just cut some
Honestly, it
calories.
helps me. Again, I've told y'all, I struggle eating in the evenings, and whenever I'm on the growth hormone secretagogues, it does make me somewhat chill a bit quicker, because I'll be like, well, let me at least get it 60 minutes prior to that. Otherwise, I like going to bed on a full stomach, so I will eat till I go to bed, but they will help me lose a little bit more weight or fat, just because I'm going to be cutting it off an hour early.
Yeah, no, there's something to it. Unintended benefit there, maybe. Let's see what Jeremy says. I give a friend who has Parkinson's C-Max, and it helps him a lot. Helps him a lot for cognitive function and helps with his speech. That's pretty cool. I like that. I mean, it's hard to, especially when you're talking about something where there's not not a lot of good options.
Right.
That's excellent. I like that. What do you have here? Jaded Jump 5622, 1 unit injections with a needle that is only 5/16 of an inch. Okay, 200 milligrams a week, but every day with a 1-inch needle is something I'm worried about. Yeah, if you're doing daily injections, definitely don't use a 1-inch needle. I mean, that's pretty hardcore and completely unnecessary. Unless you unless you hate yourself and you're trying to
like
punish
less
yourself
pain
in
is
some
your
way.
thing, right? Like
That's a big needle. If you're saying 1 unit injections with a needle, so now we're back to units and dosing again. It's probably not 1 unit. I mean, that would be pretty small at unless we're talking to a female. I guess that could be a thing too. 200 milligrams a week, but every day. So yeah, if your dose is 200 milligrams per week, 5/16 of an inch. It's so now you're talking about that's going to be sub-Q dosing at a 5/16, right? I mean, if we're talking a 1/2 inch or 5/8 inch, you're going to be shallow IM. 5/16, you're almost no way getting into some muscle. Maybe if you have real lean quads, you're going to get into some muscle there. Or if you're really pressing it hard into your delts, right? If you're pushing it in, because now you're getting, leaving a bullseye mark with the end of the needle there, with the end of the base of the needle. Probably a little longer than that. 1/2 inch, 27 to 29 gauge is probably the sweet spot.
Yeah.
For a lot of guys, that's kind of small, man. I think, but for sub Q, you could do it sub Q. What do you have here? I tried sub Q C-Max, didn't notice anything. Wonder if nasal works better. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure the bioavailability of the nasal versus the injectable. So I would think the injectable would have a higher bioavailability, but
Yeah, same. You would think just about everything.
right.
Yeah.
Just about everything. Yeah. I've heard of people doing Melanotan as a nasal spray too. I thought that was interesting.
Well, they make that PT 141 nasal spray,
Oh,
which
yeah,
is that offshoot of the melanocortin receptor. So, had a guy ask about that today. I have not had good results with patients from PT 41. Like, no real appreciable improvement, so to speak.
Injectable or nasal?
Both.
I've had a varying, more women that we've tried, but I've never, I wouldn't say we've tried it several times, but I've never had anybody who they're like reordering it several times. It's like
Same.
they'll try it
Same
and
experience.
maybe they do get a little bit of benefits, but it's not like they're reordering it. They're like, I tried it, and what I hope is happening is that we're just getting their testosterone figured out a little bit more, and they're not needing it anymore. Is what I hope.
Right.
But I just haven't had anybody that it's like routine every 3 months or putting in an order for it or something. It's like, let me try it, see it, and then it just don't get tons of feedback from that. I think guys like Viagra and stuff, if they need it, they're not going to forget it during the thing. But females, they just don't think about it, to be honest. Like you almost have to have a timer to be like, oh, I should do this now. It just doesn't cross their mind like it does in a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you need it as like a pump or something.
Right. Yeah.
Just hook it up like an insulin pump, and it goes off at 5 p.m. every day. Gives you a little sub-Q bolus.
That's it.
Or maybe their husbands can remember to give it to them. That would be.
Every day.
That's like what Rousier. I can't remember. Rousier, Dr. Neil Rousier does these WorldLink courses, and he's like, female hormone creams like testosterone are absorbed very well vaginally, and he's like, I've had people or women come and say they have difficulty remembering, and I just tell them, make it your husband's job, and he won't ever forget any night. And I thought that was funny, but that was a Neil Rousier thing.
Oh yeah. What's the applicator?
Yeah, there's not an applicator. It's like because it's just external vagina application from a cream, so it'd be finger.
That's right. There's options for how you're going to get it on there.
There certainly is options.
That's funny. We got a couple other quick things in here. Let's see. Regarding the C-Max, I was on Vyvanse before. Probably played a factor in how I responded. Yeah, no, I'm sure.
Yeah, it'd be tough to really assess C-Max versus Vyvanse, because they're both, Vyvanse is proven and
probably a little harder hitting too.
I imagine,
The C-Max is going to be a little more subtle than Vyvanse is going to be a little more speedy. Let's see, Jaded Jump says, sorry guys, I'm at 10 units. I feel silly. 250 milligrams, 10 milliliter. So yeah, 10 units daily. So let's see. Yeah, right. I mean, that's not 10 units of 250 milligrams.
It's going to be Sustanon or Underground.
Well, there are two. You can get 250 MCT from a couple of the compounding pharmacies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
None of mine have that option that I've seen.
Yes, I think you can. Sus is usually 250.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
but I think Brooksville Farm. Well, yeah, I don't ship to Texas, so.
Yeah, I've looked up probably 3 times because I now know that they're still not in Texas because they've been desirable from the last couple times we've talked, but.
Yeah, but 10 units. Yeah, if you're using a 5/16, that's going to be smaller. You're going to probably be sub Q. Probably want something a little bit bigger. It says, Matt, you need to start wearing shirts like Mike.
I do need to start wearing. I got to start getting some button ups.
Yeah.
I need some medium button-up
Yeah.
shirts.
Media.
I can send you some. I can send you some. Let's see.
Send me a link.
I'm going to send you some of my actual shirts.
It's
Oh,
the-
yeah, there you go.
He's gonna send you a link.
Yeah,
It's the J. Crew Kids section.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be
Crew
great.
cuts.
I like it. I like it.
Well, yeah, I think I'm about to need to head out. So
Yeah,
it's a
we've
good
been
time
going
to wrap
a
up.
little long here. Yeah, thanks for everyone who tuned in here. Thanks for all the questions. That was fun. It was good hanging with you guys again. But yeah, if anyone has some other, I don't even know. Does it let you leave questions in here that we could see later? I don't know if the chat goes away or what.
Comments. I think
Oh, in
it-
the comments.
be able to have
Yeah,
comments.
that's a way to do it. Yeah, so someone who's watching this after, if you have questions, you could drop it in there for the next one. If I could talk these guys into doing another one, we'll do that. Matt will have the proper attire. We'll be.
I will.
Josh will have an omelet station going the whole time. Give a request for your omelet. as
Yeah,
we go.
seriously.
Yeah, you guys have anything coming up or anything you wanna throw out there?
No, I mean, I have a YouTube channel with other health topics, Live Oak Health. Like and subscribe so it'll grow a little bit more. If you're in Texas or do telemedicine across Texas, also Colorado and Florida. For me, I think Mike also covers. I think we all have Colorado and Florida. I think.
I do not have Colorado yet.
Oh, okay. Just me. And
We
Mike.
are in the process of adding several states. I had to get Richie to get his multi-state license first, just because if I didn't have that, it's going to make getting every other state a pain in the butt. It came in this week. Lots of applications are going out.
Nice.
So,
Oh, I got one here. Mason, I'll be switching to your clinic soon.
all right, man.
Oh, nice.
John, nice, good choice, man. These guys will take
I just sent
great
somebody
care of
that.
you.
Nice.
Just
We'll
Mason's
be looking out for you, John. We'll hopefully get you on the right track with everything.
Yeah,
There
it's
was a
just
guy
nice
in
what you
Texas.
guys do.
I went to a, I forget, he said the name of the clinic, and he's like, it sucks. He's like, you know anyone in Texas? I was like, as a matter of fact, I do. I was like,
Yeah. We'll take it.
yeah.
Nice. Yep. Yeah, they'll take good care of you. All right. Anything else before we shut it off here? Yeah, and also, I mean, he's got to see. Of course, you have to check out these guys on the Josh and Matt on the TRT DAD Unscripted podcast. Awesome stuff there. They have a huge catalog of stuff, and yeah, Mason's YouTube channel. Tons
Yeah,
of
we'll be
YouTube
filming
stuff
another
there.
episode this week.
Nice.
Can we do it Thursday this week, by the chance?
Thursday, yes, we can do
Okay, because
Thursday.
I have my hockey game on Wednesday this week, and it's I usually don't have hockey on Wednesday, but I think the next 2 weeks I do. So
Okay.
it's the only one we could get ice time.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Cool.
Thursday works. And then after that, we might have to switch to the weekends for like a month.
Sure, it's fine.
Just
I can make it
because,
work.
or
Like,
Fridays.
yeah.
Football
fine.
camp starts on Monday.
Ooh, boy. All right. We can definitely make that work.
9U, baby.
9U. Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
Moving up.
Yep. We had a bunch of kids sign up. We had like 36 kids.
Wow.
Last year we were
that's a
only
good
at
bit.
21. But we won the league championship, so now everyone wants to. So we had to split the teams.
Got it.
So
Nice.
it's going to be fun. So that's Monday through Thursday. With
Okay.
some things on Saturday for 4 straight weeks. And then we go to Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays and Sundays. Saturday
All right.
or Sundays are games. So,
Yeah, just
the
fill
next-
me in when you got some time. I'll make it work.
yep. So,
So, cool.
it
Yeah,
is what it
John
is.
says y'all need to do a traveling podcast. Oh, I see. Mason replied to him there. Yeah, well, maybe we'll do it at Silverback.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would be a good idea.
I got to get my tickets for that. I think I'm going to head there a little early if you guys want to meet there a little early. And
Yeah,
I need to
Do some
commit
fun
and buy the
stuff.
tickets. Yeah, I'm being a big baby and dragging my feet. I need to just buy them. I'll probably buy Coulter, the other guy MP, ticket too, and so we'll both.
I'm not going to bring Richie this year just because like he will literally just have his own schedule like starting like that month. And I don't want to
Yeah.
take like a week where he's not there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, but I'll bring him next year. Like this year, it's like I'm just going to be the one that goes.
No, I'd say that's probably a good deal because like Coulter started with me in January, so it's going to be a good 11 months of like
Yeah, that would be
practice.
fine.
I thought you were going to say it's a good idea. I'm not going to bring Coulter either. That would have been. He's watching
Leave
this.
him
He's
all
like, what the
behind.
hell, man?
Yeah,
I was trying to
the
get
hell,
him
Josh? You
to.
really
I
screwed
was
that
trying
up
to
for me,
con
dude.
him in to be like, "Hey, just stay late and hop on the live with me." And he's like, "No," you know.
Mhm.
But I'll con him into joining one of these with us one day because
Yeah, that'd be good.
He has just a different approach with everything, and which is awesome. That's why I hired him, because I didn't want just a parrot of everything I say. I want, like, you know, and it helps me expand my knowledge with things. And so, anyways, he'll be a good addition to throw in some stuff if I can get him to hop on at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, so thanks again, everybody, for joining. I'll put links to all these guys' stuff too if you need to check them out, and links to some of mine too. But yeah, in the comments, drop some questions for the next one, and yeah, thanks for coming out. See you guys soon.
Thank you, guys.